Boom. It says we're live now. Let's see if we got anybody left in here.
I don't think it went live before.
Well, we had comments though.
And you know what? It didn't show. Yeah, but it said, I guess it ain't going to let me listen in.
Okay, now live on your channel. Recap. Does it show it?
I don't know. I have to go to a different one live.
Yep, it says we're live now.
If you guys can see us.
Ah, we got 5 people in here. Now it's showing that we've got people in here. Yeah, well.
There it goes.
Just a little technical glitch here. Guys, sorry about that.
I think.
Hey, Calvin, do you want to jump on for a minute? If you can. I was talking to Benny. Benny said he talked to you and that you were asked some questions while you were on your way to the rendezvous. If you want to share it, you might not want to. That'd be fine too.
Oh, I got a story to match his story too.
Do you?
Oh yeah, and it's probably the same guy.
They hear us and they see us.
Interview stories and tales. Live. Okay. We're on live now.
We're on.
Sorry, guys.
We're just not under
I got to reshare all this because I'm sure the link I sent isn't going to work. Let me try it again.
Make them have to work hard to see us.
So I don't even know. Did anybody see us before? Or is this the first time it pops up? Yeah, I have to set up the computer. Oh, yes, set up his computer.
My gosh,
Calvin.
Did you listen to that? Do you listen to Joe Rogan?
Every once in a while. I got home and I've been unpacking trailers and.
You need to
what
listen
is he talking about?
You need to UFOs or UAPs or whatever they call them now. Had that guy that from the government that ran counterintelligence and this and that, and then they assigned him to this program. And the government's coming out and saying yes. They have tons and tons of footage of these things.
Well, it's in an election year too. Are they like?
No, I believe this guy.
Yeah.
I mean, I believe him.
I mean,
what would you? Why would you think they would lie about that right now? I mean, and this guy's he had
because
to get
it's a big distraction. What other better distraction would it be than say there's UFOs all of a sudden, and then in the end say, "Oh, these guys are full of crap."
But why would they want the distraction?
Because Kamala Harris is a retard.
You mean trying to take
trying to just take
all attention away from her?
David Copperfield said, distraction. Distraction is the key. And that's that. It's
a good one. I liked it, and I believed it. And I told my wife while we were driving on the road there, I said, this could be, a misinformation campaign. Also, they could be, because they're. What I would think they would say, they would want to make misinformation because really what people are seeing is technology that the government has, and they don't want anybody to know that they have that technology. But then after I listened to him, I said, "Oh, this guy's telling the truth. This guy's straight up."
I don't doubt it. There's no way, in my belief, that we could be the only people.
Oh no, I think there's a lot more to this. There's a lot more to this whole world than we realize.
But it isn't a distraction. Seems nobody cares. Well, then prove it. Just because the guy's on Joe Rogan and the government's coming out, like, let's see the alien bodies.
Well, no, they didn't. He didn't say that. He couldn't go there. What he was talking about was videos of objects that did and he said he had permission to talk about that. So they have lots and lots of video, and then he said there's lots of video online that you can look up and go see. And he said and they've had them. These things that are going under, they go into the water, they come out of the water. I forget how, they talked about how fast they went, so many knots underwater.
I've seen those videos.
Well, no, they say they've got a bunch of them. They said that's just the tip of the iceberg. And they have confirmation through radar, through video, and eyewitnesses. They said, and he also said that he was allowed to say that they do have material that is not of this planet, which we've heard before.
Oh, there's no way. There's no way. Even if there's a shipwreck, I'll watch it. I'm not denying it. I'm just saying that, like, this is stuff it's not really new stuff. It's just stuff that's all of a sudden being pushed on us.
No, this was some new stuff. I didn't know. I mean, I pay attention to that.
But they have. It's not new as far as people, talking about UFOs.
Oh, no. And that's how come they had to change the name from UFOs to UAPs or what? Because they
unidentified
said because they go into the water too. They said that's not UFOs, unidentified flying object. I don't know. I like the guy. Into the
water, still fly. No, I'm not discrediting the guy. I'm just saying it's coming at an opportunistic time. When you're about to get caught cheating, you rat out her brother for robbing a bank. You know what I mean?
But I don't know. I don't know why it would be how the distraction would benefit one side or the other. Is what? Why definitely. Would it benefit the Kamala Harry or Trump?
Harry Kamala?
She's got a Harry Kamala.
I don't know.
I don't either. Mean,
there's not if there's somebody intelligent enough to create these crafts, and I've always said there's such a big space, and then all of a sudden, I mean, what does that do to the religion? I mean, it's such a big rabbit.
Not necessarily anything. It doesn't have to. In Ezekiel gives a description of seeing something that was not of this world, or it's not the words that, but it was something that if you listen to his description, sounded like some kind of spaceship.
Okay, what happens when someone comes down and actually shows up and says, "We created you guys. We've been watching you for thousands of years on this planet, and we created you. You guys are just a drop in the bucket."
Well, when they do if they do that and they say that, then it'll screw things up. But I don't believe that's true. I believe no one knows what goes on, and nobody has. It even says that we can't understand what the Spirit of God is. Nobody. I mean, people try to talk about an old man in up in the sky. Well, that's just an ignorant way for people to dismiss it, I think. But
I'm a guy, and I'm a private investigator. So
you've been investigating God? Is that what you're trying to say?
Yes. Jesus had me do it. Listen. So I will listen to anybody's story, but there's always the three sides. It's his, hers, and the truth. Mm-hmm. So if you know what I mean, like I'm not discrediting the guy. I'm not saying I believe there's something out there. How can there not be? You're telling us we're the only planet and one tiny drop in this universe. We're nothing. We're nothing. We could be nothing. We don't know. Just like, you don't know what heaven's like until you die. And hopefully you go there if there is one. So I don't discredit anybody's theories on anything. I love listening to religion. I love listening to people's conspiracy theories. And in my profession, there's 10% truth in every lie.
Here's just what I like. There's from Northern California. All right.
So I don't know. Anyways,
we got 46 in here now. I just brought it up. I thought it was a very interesting podcast. The guy was real credible, and I think he revealed and said some stuff that hadn't been said before. It hasn't been confirmed before. That's it. I listened to it. It's a 3. Joe Rogan is longer winded than you are, and it's a 3-hour podcast, and
Yeah.
so
He
it's
can
an
try to
easy
keep
drive.
up
It
with
makes
that.
for an easy drive home.
Yeah, but they talk about stuff they know about. We talk about stuff we don't know about. So it's even more entertaining.
We need to do one of those disclaimers at the beginning of the show.
This is for entertainment. I'll do it right now. This is for entertainment purposes only.
Yep.
So anyways.
Should we wait for Benny or should we get started? How many guys are in the chat here that was at the rendezvous? Because we had what do you think we had? We probably had 50 people there, didn't we?
Oh, 60.
More 60?
We had 20 people around my trailer on Sunday morning.
Yeah, and that was after a lot of people left.
Everybody left.
We had what, 40 paid dinner plates, right?
Yep.
And we had smoked tri-tip, corn, beans, and potatoes and rolls, and let me tell you, it was good food.
That guy, and I've heard it's hard to smoke tri-tip, and that guy smoked that tri-tip. That was good stuff. Good flavor. It was very good. Tender. Yep. For $25.
Yeah.
And we could have probably went back for seconds, but they kind of piled it up on us.
Yeah, I had plenty.
Mm-hmm. And then burritos the next morning, right?
We had some. Chris makes some burritos, but everything was perfect until he tried to put sour cream on my burrito. I said, man, if I want sour cream on my burrito, I'll go to Taco Bell.
There's only one person in this whole universe that day that didn't have sour cream on their burrito, and it was Brett.
Well, not everybody has good taste.
And then I got all these people to eat my 12-year-old elk meat. Brett ate a lot of it.
Oh, I ate a whole bunch of it. I liked it. That was good. Those little flat tacos. That was really good.
I just call them my dirty camp tacos. And it's just a corn tortilla. Why is my internet? You know what I never did? Oh, I don't
align your dish.
I probably didn't, and it keeps jumping on my other internet.
We haven't had any jitters over here. I haven't had any jitters with you.
Oh, gosh, dang. My thing is pointed, it's supposed to be in the circle there. Look at mine. That thing's all over. It's not even aligned. Oh, let me run out and line it real quick.
Who do we got here? Tim Brink. Sour cream is for baked potatoes, not burritos. I don't even put it on my baked potato, but I think it would be better on a baked potato than a burrito. What else? Do not fall for satanic or yep.
Man, that thing was. I guess I'm not in Phoenix no more. That thing was out of control.
Are you real? I'm so critical. I have to go out and get my phone and make sure it's exactly within the lines.
Oh no, 99% of the time I just set it up at my shop or at my office when I was working on a job, and then at my house where I stayed down in Maricopa, I just threw it. I knew where it was. When I get here and that thing looked like it's pointing way east, but it's north. So, yeah.
I loaded up all my stuff and took it. It took me forever to get everything set back up here.
Well, I just threw mine out the front. I got internet here, but I jump on this one, so I don't have. My kids are on the internet right now doing schoolwork. Tim, we'll start with a B.
We also had a bunch of hound dogs in camp. How many dogs do you think we had there?
I had 10. Rodney had 4. Wayne Bisbee had 4 or 5 Cujos. Jeremy had, I don't know how many Jeremy had. His dogs were down in the bottom there. He was embarrassed. couple of the undercover guys, they had a few dogs.
We were
I don't
pretty
know.
convinced that we had some undercover guys spying on us there.
Yeah.
They didn't
We know
say
who you
nothing.
are.
They had little beady eyes, and they just kept looking around at everybody. Every now and then they'd look at each other and wink.
Yep. So
Uh-oh,
I had
guys. I got a real hard rainstorm just hit here. I hope it doesn't affect my Starlink.
it shouldn't, as long as that wind don't blow it over. Mine blew off my trailer and put a big dent in it.
Yeah.
So I had to tape it so no moisture would get in there.
This one blew off one time.
Uh,
I think those undercover guys showed up because of us talking about game wardens.
Maybe. Oh, speaking of game wardens that are working for the cause, where was Chris Powell? How come he didn't show up?
I heard a rumor he don't like me very much.
Yeah. Well, I don't like you very much.
Kind of
Hurt
broke my heart and may hurt my feelings.
I'd seen that. Old Brett sat down.
You know,
I had to give him a moment.
I'm a sensitive guy.
Yep. How did we do on the auction? So this is what happened. Let's go over the very beginning. We couldn't get in until Saturday. And this is because this was a kind of a really last minute thing. And you have to rent this place. And me and Brett were even skeptical of it. The hosts are great. Yeah. I got there Thursday. Okay. We were hoping that people wouldn't show up Friday because they only rented it for Friday. And they had to be out by 11 Saturday. One big guy would look beady-eyed no matter what. Yeah, the big guy I didn't want to talk shit about.
Yeah, and we didn't say nothing to that big guy
is, but I'm not gonna, he's too big for me to talk shit about. So I got there Thursday. Casey Fair said, "Come on over to my ranch. 30 minutes down the road. But I'm pulling a trailer with 1,000 pounds of water and a bunch of gear. So it takes me an hour, a little longer to get there because I don't know where I'm going, hour and a half this time. So I get down, beautiful place. You didn't go down there, did you, Brett?
No, I never made it.
So I went down to the ranch, bumped into Diane Fair, and this chick drives 300 miles an hour on these roads. I mean, she's crazy. And wound up. I mean, just energy.
She
I got
never
tired.
stops.
No, never stops. So I went down there, me and Cody Lynn, and as soon as we get down there, he says, "Hey, come look at this bunkhouse right away." And then we look at it, we go out, and it starts dumping. So I said, "Man, do you mind if I back under your awning over there?" You know, I had my trailer, my dogs, and we backed under the awning. I put a tarp over my dog box. It leaks a little. I got to get in there and seal it up. And then we just BS'd. It just rained and it rained and it rained and it rained. You know, and Diane had some church thing. I mean, she's hardcore. She's preacher girl too, like hardcore in the church. So she gets home and yells at Casey for not making his dinner because she had chicken fried steak that she was going to make. Me and Cody Lynn are just sitting there eating couple noodle. And we had bought a big bag of Hatch green chilies. So, so we had couple noodles with green chilies. Then, so he said, just stay here. And they let us stay in their RV. So we didn't have to go find and set up a camp. We just strung the dogs out under his awning there and stayed in his RV. And then we got up and we did some hunting Friday morning. He got on his horse, cut some canyons. Diana was in her side-by-side, and they don't rig. So I had rig dogs. So I'm running around trying to rig around them even, you know. Got a couple good rigs, but nothing I wanted to let go on. That's big country down there. That's big country.
Like on the rig, I don't want to interrupt you, but on those, I don't know anything about rigging. When you rig like that and you said nothing you wanted to let go on, it just wasn't a strong rig?
Oh, yeah. If Dirty wants to break that chain. So if I know when Dirty's got something hot, you know, you just know. And all the dogs, even you could put
blow up.
You could put Dirty on top and put 10 dogs from the pound in there. And they talk dog, you know what I mean? When he says, it's like me saying, "Hey, Brett, check that out over there." You're just going to look casually, you know, if we're hunting. If I say, "Oh, Brett, there he goes." you're going to look over there and be like, you know, you're going to be ready. I feel that's how the rigging goes with those dogs. So,
Yeah.
you know, I watch how he rigged, and it
If
was a good
let me make
rig.
an announcement. Hey, guy, if we lose you, sorry. I mean, it is dumping rain right here. So, okay, go ahead. Sorry.
Hey, at least you don't have to drive home.
I got to walk home.
You don't have to. You could just stay there for a little bit. But so it was a good time. He had a client, and there's a gal, and you know, we had a couple of. I just didn't want to let him go. And if I pull forward, and Dirty kind of stops, and like he just, if he wants down, he wants down. You know, and
You
if
know,
it's a
you
good rig,
just the way he acts. I mean, so
yeah,
like the
I
box
know my
blows
dog.
up, and yeah,
Yep.
exactly.
So if I let him down, it's a good rig, and you let him down. Like if it's a okay, and I let him down, if he gets out and takes a piss, sometimes he just wants down, is what it is. So, what's up?
Well, Calvin sent me his email, and I sent him a link to get on. And now he's telling me to check my phone. I don't even know where my phone is, Calvin. I know I sent you that email. Let me make sure it went through.
So, we did a little hunting. We got back. We BS for a little bit. Diane made us some lunch. So we loaded up. Went. I I had my Starlink, so I said, "Let me go check that campsite." And there was nobody there. 2, 3 o'clock, you know, and so we went up the road, dropped the trailer, set up the dog, set up just a little makeshift camp. I didn't unload my trailer the whole time. I just took what I needed out, and that sucks. It's like living out of a suitcase. Like, oh, I'm only going to be here for a day, you know. Let me just take some clothes out. And the next thing you know, 3 days, you're just digging through it, you know. So we went down there 4 o'clock. There was still nobody there. Man, them people didn't show up 4:30, 5 o'clock. So they rented this place or leased or whatever they did, reserved it.
Reserved it, yeah.
Went in Friday night and camped one night and left. And they're not locals, so they have to drive at least. It takes an hour to get down there.
Yeah,
So
it's out in the middle of nowhere.
To camp one night. But that's city folk for you. You know what I mean? So we got in there in the morning.
Find my phone.
Want me to try to call it?
No, it's in the other room. I remember my mom called. Remember, I took it.
Oh
to
yeah,
the room.
you did. You walked away. So me and Cody Lynn, we set up camp. Made some more cup of noodle. I think. Oh no, we made spaghetti. And I set up my Starlink. And when you're in the forest, see, I was enjoying the live from your meeting. I hope you'll drop that as a podcast. It was pausing. So we will, I think, on the Saturday Night Live with Joe Hott. If the audio came out, we're going to suck that audio out of there. And if Brett's video recorded, I think we can repost that too. So we'll suck the audio out of that, and we'll probably put that on the Chris Watson project. The Chris Watson project. So if we can get if that audio is good. That audio should be good. I watched that live, and it did. It jumped around. Like, you know, when it went off, it would stop. So if Brett can get that audio from his computer, then we'll post it as a podcast.
Yeah, we'll just edit that stuff out.
So we set up camp, went back over there 5 o'clock, and those people showed up. So we was hoping they'd cancel so we could either get in there Friday night which is good because now we know, and we'll probably do. I think it was a good time because it was archery season deer. It was rifle season bear, and lion opened up that weekend. It'll probably be the same weekend next year. So it's probably going to be around August 23rd, 24th. I told Diane, I said, if we can get this place for Thursday, I want to get it for 7 days. Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and be out of there Thursday. So, like Jeremy bought a bear tag. I hope he gets him a bear.
He's hunting today, and I told him, I said, man, you get you a bear. Make sure you send us a picture.
Yep. Where was I? So next year I'm trying to get it for 7 days. That way, I'm going to take the whole week off, and I'm going to go down there and hunt. Because worst case, it's going to shut down on Wednesday. And I think it is shutting down on Wednesday. It already said that. So
I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go with you, and I'm just gonna be your cameraman.
Yeah, we did not film nothing. Let me tell you, when you host something, I was gonna make a video, put it on Anecdote of a Houndsman, and it just
You're
it
busy
really.
talking to people. It's hard to get a camera out and do it. I think Jeremy filmed quite a bit.
Mm-hmm. Jeremy said he snuck some in, and I had Kaylee running around, or Bailey, Kaylee. I call her so many names. The little short girl that bought the dog. So we raised just on those dogs, and that's all we really did. Is we had 3 dogs, and we raised $940. So I'm gonna put this in my account, send it over. Well, I'm gonna go to Colorado, donate that money, and
So what do you have? I mean, you got that. I mean, you've got a pile of money.
Right now we got $10,992 that's been donated, and that's including our $940 that I'm gonna put in. We have, Cole Banner $100, Jim Ball $300, TJ Jones $20, Marguerite $20. I don't know her last name. Mike Decker threw in 20. Ashley Hudson threw in 20. Chase Hartman $50. Jim Mesner $100. David McGee $51.50. $100. Chris Valapena $25. But Chris and them, they all. Oh, this ain't all from the puppies. Chris and them threw in some bucks too. A couple $100 before they left. Chris, those are the Tennessee guys.
And they were neat guys.
They were neat guys.
Yeah.
And they did not whatsoever bring moonshine or nothing. Nothing.
None of that butterscotch moonshine that we've heard so much about.
Yep.
And none of us drank any of it. Oh, Lord of mercy, you're big, Calvin.
So, Pete Richardson, 25. Will Price, 51.50. Brett Vaughn, 103.94. But that's just on here. He threw in a few $100 down there. Jim Emerson.
I had to bribe some. I had to bribe some people to take one of my puppies.
Well, we had.
Can you back out a little bit, Calvin? All we see is your nose hair.
Tri-Spoke.
There you go.
Outfitters.
Let me see if I can adjust this real quick.
Okay.
While you guys talk.
Okay, go ahead, Chris. Sorry.
Outfitters, $515. Brian Pennington, 103. Nick Kofalk, 40. Kofalk. I better watch how I say that. Frank White. Some of these guys have different names on YouTube. So when I get their message, but I think it's Vince White. Somebody White. 103. Kelly Valentine, 10. Shane Riles, he put 257 in, and then he put 206 in. So he did it twice. Southridge Guide Service, Jared threw in 51.50. Buddy Woodbury, $1,500.
W Hunting Supply.
Yeah. I'm not done with them.
Our best
Jordan
sponsor,
Stewart,
our only sponsor.
Yep. Rodney Marvitz, 41. Tim. I don't know Tim's last name. I need to text. I don't know if he was there. There's a guy named Tim Line Hunts, threw in $3,605. He donated to him. And he's just a lion hunter here in Arizona.
There you go, Calvin. That looks good.
Bo Byron, 20. Liz Washu, 20. James Hughes, 25. W, another 580.
Oh.
Minnesota Trailhound Association, $1,670. Troy Barbera, he threw in 103 last night, or Saturday when he was on the thing, and then the Hound Rendezvous. I just put it under Hound Rendezvous. We have 940 going in. And we still have auction items. And we didn't even get to raffle off those $25 gift cards. So I'm thinking of taking from Gun Dog Supply. I'm thinking of taking everybody who donated, put their name in a hat, we'll draw it, or one of those little computer things, we'll draw it, and they'll get that card. Just $25
to Gun Dog Supply?
Yep.
And then what about Full Cry? Didn't Full Cry do something pretty special?
Full Cry magazine. Let me tell you, this is why. Full Cry magazine. Let me get over this, and then I'll go into the other one. Full Cry magazine. Danny texts me and says, "Hey, I know it's last minute, but half-page ad, Full Cry magazine for a year. So that's 6 issues." We had a couple people kind of fighting over there, but I think what we're going to do is advertise maybe the next Hound Rendezvous for me and Brett, and we're going to have people, if they want to put their logo on it, throw in $100, or we'll come up with some price, and they can put their logo on. And that's a good deal. That's a year of advertising with Full Cry on a half page.
I got $400. I got $400. I'll pitch in for it right now for our part of the advertisement.
And that's $1,250 value, you know. So Full Cry magazine basically donated $1,250. And I know they ain't rich right now because they're still getting that magazine off the ground, and they own their own business, and I own my own business, so you ain't got no money. So that's a good deal. But I'm glad. I think respect for everybody, even the $10 one.
Everything.
Up. I appreciate if you only donated $1, every penny will make $1 sooner or later. You know, and we are almost at $11,000. So, and then Carl Boykin or Doug Boykin said he was asking to log on. So we're going to bust 11,000 plus our sponsor, who I guess we could probably reveal, which a lot of you already know because Brett likes to slip sometimes.
What is it? Rio Valley Metal.
Yep.
I
asked him, what do you want me to say, Rio Valley Metal or Cody King? He said, I don't care. I don't care.
He can run it through Rio Valley. He can run it through Rio Valley. Can it be deducted then? Can it?
You can write it off somehow.
Yeah.
Somehow. So, unlike others, he's not just wanting to get his name out there. He's doing it for the cause. And like 99% of the people who donated, they're not in it just to say, oh, look at me, I'm cool. You know, I'm part of the fight. They did it for the fight, not to just put their name in neon lights. And there's a lot of people out there putting their name in neon lights or want to put a big capital letter on their name. I don't care.
Yeah, this is just kind of, what would you call it? Like a grassroots thing. We just mentioned it and everybody pitched in. I mean.
Oh, this is campfire politics. Exactly what this is. This is campfire politics. I didn't do nothing but take people's pictures, put them in another file, put it on a spreadsheet, so Cody can say, all right, you're not just bullshitting me.
Yeah, Cody's the one who got everybody. Cody's the one who got everybody motivated. Mm-hmm. I mean, when he said that, said, "All right, guys, we need to." Mm-hmm. That's something that can be beneficial. And I hope they really appreciate it. I mean, I hope they appreciate that the guys who contributed.
So don't thank me. Thank all the 20, 30, 40 people that put in.
Yep. Chris is doing all the work. He's holding all that grubby cash right in his hand.
I see you. We see you. We see you. Are you looking at yourself now?
So, Calvin.
That's my man right there.
I heard a story that you were running bears with puppies in the mountains.
Yeah. Apparently.
Oh, Calvin. Tell your story because I have one. Was the last name of that? Do you know the last name of that warden? Alderman?
No, I didn't even bother. I just, he was doing his job.
You're kind of quiet. For some reason, you're quiet.
Oh, I can hear him.
Can you hear me?
Okay, there you are. That's better.
Oh.
Okay, well, he was just doing his job, with checking hunters is all he was doing, so I had no gripe on him.
Was he polite?
Wait.
Yeah, he was. He was 100% polite. He was just doing his job, checking people. I got off the main highway, the Payson to Heber Highway, and that as soon as you jump off of there, it's paved for about maybe 10 miles, maybe.
Mm-hmm.
And I jumped out that onto the dirt road, and that first hill I came over the top of that first hill, and he was sitting on the other side. Saw a seal on the side of his unit, and I was like, "Yep, he's gonna stop me.
You
He's
have a
gonna
dog
stop me."
box.
Yeah. Sure enough, looked
That's
in the rearview
Calvin.
mirror. Yeah, looked in the rearview mirror, and sure enough, here he comes. Pulled around. I didn't even wait for him to turn on his lights. I just pulled right over. I already knew what was going on. So
Calvin's
he walked
reputation
up.
preceded him.
Yeah.
He walked up, and he was like, "Hey, good afternoon. Are you you got a bear tag?" And I'm like, "Not with these guys." And he's like, "What are you talking about?" And I was like, "Those are just puppies back there." He's like, "What do you can't? What are you doing with the puppies?" And I was like, "Oh, we got a
Getting
like a
rid of them.
Houndman rendezvous, 20 miles south of Young. There's a bunch of houndsmen that are just gonna, meet up together and tell stories, and and do some donations for the Colorado the Colorado ordeal." And then he's like, "Oh, all right." He goes, "Well, I didn't hear anything about it." I'm like, "Well, I mean, I didn't know that. I didn't know."
We
I was like,
don't.
"I
We
know
don't.
they."
We don't invite
There's a
game wardens.
reason for that.
I was like, "Well, I know they rented out the park there, or the campground. I know they rented that out through Parks and Rec. So I mean, somebody knows about it." And then he's like, "Oh," he says, "Well, yeah, we don't know anything about it." And I'm like, "Well," he's like, I don't know what to say. That's where it's at. Now you have an idea, and you can come down there, and I'm pretty sure everybody won't mind their bear tags. The one that do have bear tags." And he's like, "Oh, all right."
He never
Nobody
And that was
showed
came.
it.
up.
And
I don't think a game and
he just
fish
led me on
guy.
my way.
A game and fish guy never showed up. Did they ever pull in or anything?
I didn't see him.
Just the undercover guys.
But yeah, we seen them winking
No, yeah, but
winking and nodding each other. So we
Yeah.
knew what was going on. We kept our mouth shut. We didn't incriminate ourselves.
no. If we did, it was for entertainment purposes only.
It was just lies anyway.
A guy I hunt with, newer houndsman, I met him and he come up and hunt with me a little bit. And I told him what I do, and probably told him not to do that if you want to catch stuff. Guy shows up, game warden, says, "This unit ain't open. What are you doing?" He's like, "I'm hunting." He goes, "This unit ain't open." He goes, "Yeah, it is." He pulled it up on his phone. He said, "Yeah, it's open." I mean, this guy really kind of harassed him, even followed him in the camp later, saying has something weird about his truck. His tags are bad. It's not in his name. Just stupid stuff. The tail light didn't work. So he ended up calling in to the game and fish department and said, "Hey, maybe I'm mistaken here, but is this?" And he goes, "No, that guy's wrong. This unit's open." So
Was he a young warden? I wonder. Young guy.
yeah, I don't know. I don't know him. He just made a mistake. Rodney said he came. I think Rodney said he came back and apologized.
Oh, good.
Or said something. Maybe he did. I don't know. I don't know. I know. Jacob was real kind of distraught about it, like because he said no, it's right here. And the guy was just kind of belligerent, and I feel like it was a rookie guy. So maybe he was misinformed, or because he was in 23 North.
Yeah.
So it's archery.
So Calvin's pups, they raised about $400 or $500, didn't they?
Yeah. Yep.
So
thanks, Cody,
Calvin.
my daughter. So Kaylee wanted to bid it, and then my daughter was kind of being belligerent to her and started bidding it up, and went all the way up to $200.
I had to jump in as the auctioneer, and I had to.
Yeah.
I got a little competition going between them.
Yeah.
Hey,
I'd say, we got 155 over here. Do I hear 160? Do I hear 160? Yes, 165 over here.
And the rancher, the host, Casey, gave the other little girl, she's only like 12, gave her $40. And then I think Jeremy chipped in another $100 because Cody was bidding on that second one. And then this is Brett. This is how Brett does. "Tammy, bring me $100." So Tammy runs him over $100. So between the 3 dogs, we almost made $1,000 just on the 3 dogs.
It was good.
So
perfect.
Yeah,
it was fun.
And now that stupid Calvin dog is in my house on a pillow because my daughter swiped it from my other daughter. So that's a boogery little guy walking into my shop and he's biting on my legs and trying to play, and he'll be all right. And your dog actually did good. We threw him on a chain last night. And
The red dog?
Yeah, I did a little barking. And then this morning I get out and she's running around because the clip came undone. And I put her back on the day. So she really did pretty good. But she's next to another dog, which might help. But she likes to sit out there and bark. And usually I say Vaquero. She named him Vaquero.
Oh, cool.
I just say, shut up, and she'd calm down.
They know what shut up means. Even at their age, they know what shut up means.
No, I could tell. And I've only had to throw 2 rocks at her, so she's all right.
Get a rake. What you need is one of those leaf rakes, and you just pick it up and say shut up, and they'll shut up.
No, once I say shut up, she usually does pretty good. So
I got the shot records for those puppies. I forgot to give it to Mike when I left.
Oh, do they have shot? I was about to shoot him with the parvo today.
Yeah, I shot him at 6, the 5-way at 6 weeks, and then at 9 weeks again. So you got them right now. They're right between 10 and 11 weeks right now.
All right.
Get one more.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'll take a picture and I'll send it to you.
All right. I could probably wait a week then.
Yeah.
So, but yeah,
cool.
No, it's a good time. The best time. Okay, let me get back into the whole schedule. So we really only had it. She saved that place till Wednesday, so those guys could hunt and just stay at that park. So, but what we had is a very limited time. We get there at noon. We help set up the tents. They do all their dinner stuff, and we do our live. And let me tell you how hard it is to do a live. So if you guys are complaining about the lives, we really don't care unless you have a 30-foot tower that we could put that, which I do have an aluminum 30-foot tower that you could put that on, because the trees, you have to find a hole in the trees.
And there's not very big holes.
No, we had a very little, and those satellites coming across, they'll jump satellites is what they'll do. So
maybe we just had a long enough wire to run out to the middle of that open field. That might have worked.
Yeah, I wonder if we can. How long a while? I'll have to look into that because, well, I have like 100-foot Ethernet cord, and I had my Ethernet cord with us. We should have Ethernetted it too. That would have helped out. Put a cord on it instead of Wi-Fi.
Yeah. So, and we could have we could have run down. I mean, the Wi-Fi, if we just did Wi-Fi or run the Ethernet. And how long is your Ethernet cord?
Oh, shit. Mine's, gosh dang, 40, 50 feet.
Well, we could have hit that open area.
Yeah, we could have done it. Or we sit out there. We know what we're up against now, guys. I'm going to tell you, when I pulled down, set up Saturday morning, and I come down that road to turn, I just camped right up a 2-track next to it. And when I turned on that road and I seen 5, 6, 7 trucks lining in, going in, I was like, wow. It was really kind of cool. Being our first pull out of the pocket, throw it on the table kind of bet, I think we won a good amount of money on that, because we had probably had more than 60 people there, but average is about 50, 60 people. And we just hung out,
It was fun. And I really enjoyed Louisiana, Tennessee, Colorado, Utah, Washington, Hagerman, New Mexico.
Yeah. So we had 5, 6 states there.
Anybody from California? I don't think so, right?
I don't think so.
And the Navajo Nation.
The Navajo Nation was represented there too. Well,
I think he was farther than Benny.
We had a
and then you got Benny, who takes his buggy down there like 50 miles and says, "I got to get, guys. I got to get because I'm on my buggy." And I don't think he left till 10 o'clock.
Yeah, he was wound up tighter than a 9-day clock.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and then I didn't even get to fight Wayne Bisbee. He was all calm. He was wound up that first day. I woke him up out of bed. He was wound up. I'm like, oh boy. But Saturday he come over and he was nice and calm, and
I enjoyed him and his family. I talked to him. They sat with us for a while. It was nice. His daughter
Brett
ate
Robert Chase. So Robert was there from Colorado, Houndsman Association. Him and his wife. They camped with us Friday night.
The Colorado Houndsman Association.
Yep. So he was there. You eat that green chili yet, Benny?
I ate some of it.
Well, he had some dynamic green chili.
I left that behind.
Dynamite, or what do you call it?
Sorry, dynamite.
Yeah. I had to show them how to eat hot chili. They didn't know a redheaded gringo could eat chili like that.
And there's Wayne. Wayne just jumped on. Wayne,
there he is.
Where's your cape? It's behind you.
There. We're right behind him.
Ha! Wayne Bisbee. Wayne Bisbee's kids are just crazy kids. So someone said, "Hey, there's a guy parked up here," and I think it's Wayne. So we went up that road Friday to meet Wayne, and his kid was standing out there in some shorts. And I drove by. I was driving by. I said, "Hey, go put some clothes on." And they all turned over, 3-4 kids, and they're like, "Chris." It was kind of fun. We went by, talked to them, and got Wayne riled up a little bit. But I think I got it out of him Saturday, and he was pretty chill. And I don't have mine. Do I? I do. I have my present that they gave me. Let me grab it.
This is strictly for hunting on the golf course, right?
Yeah, so I see the daughter carrying this around. Carried it around a while. Just a gun case. And finally they come give it to me. He said, "Here, this will help you when you're hunting those elk."
Because those that don't know, Chris hunts elk on the golf course.
That's cool.
Yeah. So Wayne and his kids, I don't know the name of his kids, but I don't know the name of half of my kids. Yeah, whoa. They said, "Here, this will help you." So me and my wife were out there this morning. I should have took a picture of me out there with my about to shoot
your 9-iron.
Yeah. Is it? No, it's a putter. Oh, it's a wedge or what is a P?
Putting wedge. Pitching wedge.
No, it's not a putting.
Pitching wedge.
Yeah.
Pitching wedge.
Benny's the golfer here. Look at him.
Oh, dang it. I golf.
Benny's the all-around guy. Golfer, welder, movie star.
I golf with my.
So who's on the GP, or what do you call that?
What's that? The 9 hole?
I don't know nothing. They kicked me. Last golf course I was on, they kicked me off.
Forest, goes all the way to the Apache Reservation. Oh, Tonto National Forest? Oh, yeah. Tonto National Forest, million-acre forest. I hunt on the other side by, Seneca Lake area, I guess, and it's right there on the res. So you got to be really careful. I don't know. Everywhere I like to hunt, it's where the res is, right there. So,
unless you know a celebrity from the reservation.
Yeah. Just Calvin's our only celebrity from a reservation.
It's the only celebrity I know.
I don't know about that. You got Benny right there. He's even got his own poster, his own flag.
Yeah, his little cape now. He has his little cape
PGA,
back there.
You go. PGA.
So, it was a good time, but not enough time. So I told the host, I said, if we can reserve this now, because most of the time, second week is bear season. The third week is archery season. So it was just kind of fun that I think we could hunt. And it only cost you guys $300 to hunt a bear. That's not too bad. $150 for a license, $155 or $160. It's not much for the tag. And a lion tag is $75. So.
Yeah. Chris, I was going to try to go hunt with Chris. Chris had invited me to come up and make some circles with him. And I leave a week from today. I leave for Dallas for a week. And then after that, I got another little deal I'm going to. But then I'm done with all my obligations to things, and I'll be out. I'm going to go back over there. That's neat country.
It's big country.
It is, and it's not like the big country that I hunt. It's not wilderness so much. where,
there is wilderness right on two sides of that too. If you wanted to,
it's just not real big wilderness, is it? It's not.
Nope.
It's not like the Gila.
No, it's or the Black Range. Gila. Yeah. No. But I mean, it was. I think the best time was Sunday morning. We sat around, literally, all morning till. Man, I didn't leave out there at 3:00.
I was the last one. I was the last one to leave.
I seen a lot of deer. I jumped out of that truck 5 times trying to stick me a deer. They were running all over the roads. I jumped out one time, 2 nice little bucks, 3 and a 4-point ran across. And I went out, and then my dogs barked a little bit, was barking because I got out or at the deer. And I walked out. When I walked back to the truck, Cody was at the truck. There was a guy with a bow coming up behind my truck. So I think he spooked him out. So I was walking back to my truck, and I look out a couple hundred yards, and there's 2 more bucks over there. They wanted to cross. So I went up. Cody Lynn's like, right there. So I walk up that fence hoping they wanted to get to those other deer. And here comes that wayward group, Hound Rendezvous people, Diane and Casey and dang Louisiana, screaming, get your truck out of the road.
And you're trying to put a stock on a deer.
I'm trying to put a stock on a deer with my longbow, cowboy hat, button-up shirt. But I was hoping the other guy would spook them to me. There's a couple more times we've seen them cross the road.
Are you allowed to pursue bear after the beer?
Nope.
Bear after the.
Nope, but that's a goal of mine, is to get that commission. We've brought it up before, and I think after this year, I think they'll think about it. So,
but
I should have asked those undercover guys.
Yeah, Chris, doesn't that just depend on who you hunt with and who's there?
Oh yeah, I mean,
well,
I pursue coons all year long. Yep.
Yeah.
Well,
I think that Gila monsters are supposed to be protected in Arizona, but through my Arizona history, twice my dogs have bait up Gila monsters.
Yep.
Me and JR went in the burros. We went years ago. We went lion hunting. We treat 2 bears. I mean, what do you do? I mean, we took pictures of them, and they stayed right there.
Yep. And we did have a bunch of kids. So we had, we forgot to mention, dang it.
Cold Strike gear?
Cold Strike. I couldn't think of his name. Cold Strike brought his kids too.
That was a neat guy. I enjoyed talking to him. He was a lot of fun.
Yeah, he's wanting to get in on some advertising and stuff. I think he just took out a full page, and he's getting his. I don't know if I'm allowed. I think he's getting his Garmin license and stuff.
And what was the other? Go ahead, Calvin. I'm sorry.
I said, yeah, he was saying that he said he was in the process of getting his license or the partnership with Garmin to be able to resell.
So that's pretty cool.
What about, who was the other guy there that was with him that was had moved from?
The Cold Strike guy is the guy who moved from Utah.
Oh, okay. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was a neat guy. He was fun to talk to.
Gave us some hats. This hat right here.
Yeah, he was fun to talk to.
So, real nice guy. He just showed up. His kid just throw it in the back of the truck and had some sleeping bags, and they played. So next year, I am going to really push the kids and family, and I think we should have like a couple little kids auctions or something to do.
And let me tell you, Chris's daughter was there, and if Chris didn't have that girl, he wouldn't get anything done. I guarantee you. She did everything. Man. He just kind of sat on his butt all the time. She set up everything.
She's the example. If you call your kid worthless their whole life, they always try to please you, and they just keep going.
and she's no bigger than a minute. And I shook her hand, and gosh, I think my hand's still bruised.
Yeah, she's my only boy I have that don't have a wiener.
I don't know. She got a little bitty hand, but it is strong. I tell you what.
No, she's so now she got 2 pups. She got Calvin. She took the one without the ear, with the missing ear.
Do you have one that was missing ear when you left it, or that old female dog of mine? She kind of got grumpy with those little bitty puppies in that dog box in the middle of the night.
Yeah,
No,
that mission here happened like a week ago. About a week ago.
Oh,
Them just
and then
fighting.
Calvin left. Calvin bailed on us, and those gosh dang pups wouldn't shut up. Tammy went to go to bed. She came over, and you tell she was a little irritated.
You should have seen my wife. She got real tired. She gets real tired anyway, and she went to go get in bed. And then those puppies were screaming, and she came back and she looked at me and she said, "Why'd you let him put those puppies in our dog box?"
We were gonna throw them in another dog box, Casey, and then they shut up.
They completely shut up, and in the middle of the night, the only thing that happened was the old female got mad at one of them and just roughed it. That's why I brought that old female to keep those puppies
she had titties
in line.
They probably tried to nurse on her.
They might have. She was still kind of loose
We said, that son of a gun. No wonder he left. You don't want to hear them puppies.
It just comes to show you, it all depends on the handler. Dogs like some don't.
Yeah, good handler. Put them with someone else.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He did. He said, "I'm going to throw these pups in this dog box. I got to get out of here."
See you later.
So.
It was good though. It was fun, and I didn't know about
Ryan Bailey was there. Ryan Bailey, the big tall guy, was telling us some stories about everything. So,
how come I can't
telling us some Hases stories and.
Okay, yep.
He was there, so good time. I was telling everybody earlier, Benny, I got everybody to eat my 12-year-old elk meat.
I did. I started it. I got it right here.
Meat. Your bottled
bottled meat. Yep. Well, you should have Casey. Well, first Casey, I made burritos, and Casey comes over and he says, "Is there any bear meat in there?" I said, "No, man. There's no." I said, "There's some elk backstrap that I had the night before. I cut up and threw in there. I just threw everything in. I threw green chilies, potatoes. I just thrown it all in there, whatever I had left over." And then I made that taco. He was real weary of it. They don't like bear meat. They just don't like it. And he said, "Is that bear meat?" I promise you it's not. Then every once in a while I say, "That was the best bear meat we had, huh, guys?" He just kind of gave me an eye.
You should have seen my wife with those tacos, though. I said, "You eat those tacos?" I said, "Man, they were good." She said, "No." I said, "Why didn't you eat one?" "Did you see they were from 2010? She said. And I said, "Yeah, but it was canned. It was bottled." I'm not going to eat that. I said it was good.
Everybody ate it.
You should have pointed out that they had no expiration date.
Yeah, I said I listened to the lid pop when he opened it up. So
I'm kind of religious on that. I'll open it slow too because I got to hear it.
Yep.
And then, if you don't hear and I open it just to crack it because the longer it's, the better it is, So
if you don't hear that, you better not eat it.
No, I feed that to other people, not anybody I like. That's my game warden tacos, I call them.
Yeah, give it to somebody you like.
Wayne gave me a bag of mushrooms. He gave me a bag of mushrooms, and I'm waiting to go to the spirit world later on.
Oh. Not those kind of mushrooms.
I asked him.
Did it look like a little cactus? Did it look like a little cactus, maybe?
I don't know. My wife just looked at me. I said, "Hey, those are mine. I'm going to go on the side of the mountain and go to the spirit world."
But no, it really turned out. Man, we sat around all Sunday and just.
Yeah, Benny, you missed that. You would have enjoyed that. It was we had some really good conversations, and then after the undercover guys left, we had some real good conversations.
Oh yeah, we had the real stories.
Everybody told how the cheat codes.
Yep.
How to fly under the radar.
I've never heard so many canned hunt stories in my life.
Oh, those are the best.
Well, I tell you what.
Still wondering how Calvin gets all those lions in those cages so he can put a lion and a bear up the tree at the same time.
Yeah, how do you put a lion and a bear in the same cage?
And get them to tree in the same tree. That takes some skill.
Now, hey, and here's another thing that happened. We was on our live, and Joe Hott says, "Yeah, Del Lee, they came to my house when I was 4 or 5 years old, and Arthur had been shot." And that really traumatized him. And he goes, he was shot right here.
Dale Lee's brother was shot right there. We all looked at
each other like, wow.
That was Joe Hott. I could listen to that guy talk, I mean, all night long. He was an absolute character. And we got plans. I'm going to go back and do a legitimate sit down interview where where we can share it with everybody, because he's got stories unbelievable. And he's the story. Well, I don't know. Should we tell the story about the cage and the?
Sure, it's already there.
Yeah, it's already online. But the story about the lion in the cage and the hunter coming and they're trying to get the lion out of the cage, and then he runs underneath the car and will come out underneath the car, and they said the hunter's coming in, and it was funny. But that was back in the old days, and I mean that was back in
the. Well, he was born in 1944, and he has a lot of 15-year-old. I was 15 years old stories. I was 4 or 5 years old, and the Lees come over, and all I could think about is Arthur being shot. It was cool they were there. I just think about Arthur being shot.
So
that's all right. All those guys we thought was undercover, I just put trackers on their vehicles while they was there. I got a whole bucket full of them.
We got a way to keep track of them now.
That wasn't where Arthur got shot. Arthur got shot in New Mexico. That's where Vincent died. Vincent got in a bad spot and came off his mule and banged his head, and it was right there at Reynolds Creek. I got the story out. But still, it was one of the Lee brothers. It was Vincent.
Oh.
Joe just got a little confused.
Well, it sure traumatized him. He said.
When we offered Arthur, he just...
Man, and when I asked Joe, I said, well, what do you think? You ride horses or mules? I mean, there was no hesitation. It was almost like I stepped on his toe. He said horses.
Yep. Oh, yeah, he went fast.
I mean, he didn't. There was no hesitation.
And he threw some names out there that now you got to go talk to people. And you got to go talk to that guy, because that guy 90 years old. And he still supposedly has his whip on him.
Nathan, I talked to Steve, and Steve wasn't sure that Nathan was still alive.
Oh, well, yeah, maybe not.
I talked to
there's not one. There's not, Shelby, there's not one on my truck, because I got a cool little piece of equipment that I checked in my truck with this morning.
He swept it this morning to make sure he wasn't in track.
Let me tell you, Shelby, if it's on there, it's going to be on one of you guys' trucks soon. That's all I'm going to say.
I talked to Justin Marks, and he said that Nathan was a heck of a hunter. So,
Yeah, Steve said that too. When I talked to Steve, he said that too. He said, man, that guy's a good hunter. He said he was awesome.
Who's that, Joe Hott or Nathan?
Nathan. He also talked about Joe. I told him I talked to him about Joe, and he said, man, that guy, and he's a character, and then I talked to John Klump before, and he brought up Joe Hott after I was listening to Joe, and I guess Joe bought, I think Joe would buy dogs. I think he went and bought dogs, didn't he, Benny?
Joe?
Yeah.
Well, I know he bought that one from John. Mm-hmm. What did he call that one?
I can't remember.
Started with Tina.
Oh, Tina. It's just cool to say. My daughter said, I would give up my law enforcement career if I could hunt like those old. She goes, it makes me not even want to go. I just want to hunt like those guys. Every time you listen to those guys, you want to saddle or load a dog and just get out and go.
Yes. The way they just went, I mean, it was unbelievable. The stories. Uh-oh, we're froze up. Is it me or is it everybody else?
I'm still here.
Oh, look at Benny.
Benny
I don't know. He's not froze up. He just fell asleep. He's old.
Maybe you should put that cape in front of him.
Just drape it over his head.
So, no, it was a really good time. Me and Brett both are kind of like, man, we just wanted a campfire. We don't want all this bull crap. We just wanted to go out, campfire, drop coordinates. People show up. We make fun of them, and they go away. But man, it was really kind of a good time.
It was, and I'd want to do. I'd like to do it like that every time. And I didn't. When I first mentioned it, I thought, well, we'll just have a place and just drop a coordinate and say, man, we're going to have a campfire here. Whoever wants to show up, just show up. Bring your own food and everything. But this, honestly, this was better. I liked it. I mean,
so next year it's going to be probably the same time, August 22nd. I'm going to try to get her to reserve that now, but I want to try to reserve it for Thursday to Thursday. Come in on Thursday, set up. Friday, we'll have the auction. Saturday, we'll have the dinner. So whatever we're going to do Friday, bring some we'll bring some cornhole boards for the kids or something, horseshoes. That's what we need to do. I'll bring my horseshoes, my cornhole boards for Friday, and then Saturday we'll. I figure Friday we could do a little auction, sit around the fire Friday night, and Saturday morning do what we did, and eat dinner, and people who are hunting there, they can go hunting.
Since we've become so good at raising money,
what
do you think?
It's going to be for Arizona or New Mexico. If there's somebody in trouble, we'll raise it for them. You know what I mean?
Just pick a place and.
Yeah, but we also need, like Arizona. You can't just start trying to buy bullets after the war begun. You know what I mean? Your war chest can't just be empty.
How about if this National Houndsman Association thing takes off? Do you think that'll be a legitimate deal?
I'm glad you segued into that, because for that to work, you're going to have to be picky in the person. And if no one likes the person, that's not going to work. And if there's too many people trying to have their neon lights above each other, it's not going to work.
They need to hire Dan Gates for that.
Well, there's a list of people that's been going around, and half those people probably won't even finish it out. There'll be some drama. There's always drama. It's almost like you want to hire a whole group of people that have nothing to do with hounds, that do not hunt.
Is that my phone?
Not mine. It's in the other room, remember? And, but...
Here, this is for Benny.
Well, I can't see it.
You can't see it?
He's loaded.
Kinsler, John Kinsler?
Benny's nickname, shit the bed.
Oh, Ketzler.
Yeah.
Ketzler.
That's Benny's nickname for him.
So I think the National Hound Association, I think it's going to be really tough to start, because this is how I would do it. So I'm just going to preach about it. What I think should be done is, if they're going to do a national one, you got to go to each state and say, who best, like do a poll even, or a nomination where people say, this guy's going to be the best for it, this guy, and I think you have to have a representative from each state, obviously, to sit on this board. So your board's going to be, at least, I don't know, not everybody, even New York people hound hunt. So, right? I'd imagine.
I guess. I don't know nothing about it.
There's still Californians that hound hunt. There's everybody hound hunt. So you'd have to have a representative from each state. And I don't think you can just say, hey, I like that guy. Hey, I like that guy. I think the people need to kind of have a decision in who's going to represent them.
And then it's got to be somebody who's really willing to take a hold and go with it too.
Because even when you have hound associations and you got 2 or 3, 4 or 5 different ones in each state, those guys fight all the time. And they talk, the drama is ridiculous. I mean, I just heard this weekend just little bits and pieces of drama throughout everything.
Well, you get a bunch of houndsmen together, there's going to be some kind of drama, I think.
There is.
I mean,
but
there's
that's why you have to be
factions.
very meticulous in the organization or the board or whatever. What did they call themselves? The
Steering committee.
steering committee. Which what does that mean? Is
I
there
don't
a
know.
certain definition for the steering part of it? I don't know. I'm stupid. I'm
Probably
nobody.
just
I don't.
probably people who just make recommendations. I guess I wouldn't know.
And you really can't be. You can't be an outlaw. You can't be the law. You have to
Because
be a
then
very
you can't even look at it.
no.
Yeah, I don't even need
Which
to
one?
be aware
Which
it's
side?
there.
The outlaw side or the law side? Shelby said, "I'm." What did he say? There's one in your truck too. He said, "And I'm the undercover one." So I just it's going to be a tough gig, man. You can't. They've tried, I think, before a few times, and I just think it's going to be. It's going to be a
I
sheet of ice you're
You don't
walking
think
on.
outlaws should be represented too, though?
Well, they should be because I mean, you learn from good and bad, right? You don't know you have a bad wife till you get a good one, or maybe you don't know you have a good wife till you get a bad one. So,
All right, guys, I gotta go take care of some stuff. So,
all right.
Calvin, thanks for
Thanks for
stopping
jumping on.
by,
Yeah,
and
Hey, quit running bears.
thanks for the puppies, Calvin. That was great. That was real generous of you.
Yep,
anytime.
you did a good
Talk to
job.
you guys later.
Thank you.
Later. He didn't want nothing to do with that drama.
He's backing out. Calvin's politically correct.
Well, I mean, it's a tough deal. I mean, who's spearheading that? Maybe Chris Powell. I mean, it's a target on your back.
I think that's what Chris is the one kind of getting it organized and doing everything.
And that's and I'm gonna tell you right now, and you might get butthurt about it, but you're a game warden or was a game warden. We won't talk about you being undercover right now, but you was a game warden. A lot of people don't like the game warden. No matter how great you were or how nice you were, that's another target on your back. How many people you talk to are like, fish cops, screw them. They don't even know the guy. I don't know Chris. You know what I mean? So,
well, and that's probably the difference between guys, back east and guys out west, and that's what's going to be hard to do is get, I'm not a big fan of Facebook myself, and I post a few things on there every now and then, but I read, I go through and keep track of what everybody's doing, and man, the drama through everything. There was a guy they were after Jason Doobie in Full Cry for a while, and I mean that they were just hammering on him.
Yeah.
And I mean I'm sure that there's going to be all kinds of. It's just the way it is. I mean, that's just people, I guess.
You're gonna have to be. That's what I'm saying. You can't be an outlaw. You can't be the law because when you're the law, you think you kind of think the law way. If you're outlaw, you think the outlaw way. And
maybe it just needs to be somebody that is neutral. Maybe not even a houndsman. What do you think about that?
That's what I'm saying. It almost has to be somebody who believes in conservation, but don't run a hound, but they're eager to go learn, or they know about all these people who run the hounds. You know what I mean? So I don't know. As a private investigator, when I take a job, and I don't just take jobs, I don't just say, "Hey, give me $1,500. I'll go find out." Me and my partner that worked with me, we've done some jobs where they wanted the person to be very bad, and there just wasn't there. I mean, they would pay us to make them look bad. I'm just not going to do it.
Did they get mad at you when you didn't find bad things about the person?
Yeah. No, literally get mad at it, and they keep spending money. I mean, $4,000, $5,000, $6,000, $7,000, and you're literally following people around, and there's nothing bad. There's nothing bad. I can't, the person's great mother or father, or the person's not cheating, and they want them in their head.
They're convinced.
they're
They're
cheating.
convinced. Yeah.
They're cheating. I'm like, and I just had a person ask me the other day, what do you think? I said, I think you're wasting your money. If you want to give me your money and I'll keep following her or I'll keep tracking her and I'll keep, I'm running out of trackers because all these undercovers keep trying to get me and I keep putting them on their trucks, putting them on all the game warden trucks. I mean, so in order to be a national hound association, like you have to be about as neutral and forgiving and calm as you can be. And everybody was kind of talking smack about Dan Gates, but I've been on the phone with Dan Gates. I'm going to tell you what, I wouldn't want to tussle with that guy in a bar.
Yeah, I got the only problem that I had with him. The only problem I had is
Mm-hmm.
When you brought up the money and everything. Geez, Louise, John. I wonder if John's listening. John, hold on a minute. The only problem I had with him is, and I corrected. I mean, I realized it later on after I did a little research, is I didn't think he appreciated what the efforts that that we were doing, or that Chris was doing, really. And
I mean, we're all doing it.
When we offered to do more, I mean, I offered to run a commercial or whatever on my other channel, and it reaches a broader audience, and I get 15,000 views a month from Colorado, and I thought that might have been beneficial, but I thought that was, I thought that was something that was kind of worthy, and it probably was, but to them, it's just a drop in the bucket. I mean, those guys, there's big money that gets in that, big. I mean, hundreds of thousands of dollars. And I guess we should just feel fortunate that he felt like we were important enough to just come on our live,
Well, when he had time, and he called me back, I left a message. He called me back. And Dan Gates calls, I pull over. And I make time. I make sure I have service. You know what I mean?
That's the way I am with Benny.
Yeah.
I tried to mount one in Benny's. How was mounting one in Benny's side by side? But there's so many game warden ones in there already. I had no room.
And that's not even he has two buggies. That's just the one he runs around in, and he's got another one that he hunts out of.
Hey, it's kind of funny is he had me bring that one up. So maybe I was the mule.
Those professional outlaws, you're not going to catch them. They know how to get away.
And that, you know what? I was just talking to somebody. I said, those are the ones that make a game warden go crazy. You can take a good game warden or a cop or a private investigator and drive them to the brink of extinction with somebody who's so good at doing what they're doing. And you cannot. Well, look at Louis Dell, right? Was that his name? Man, they couldn't catch him. They never caught him. And he knew game wardens were on. He hid his shotgun in the woods, and his wife would drop him off. If you get caught, it's because you're sloppy. And it's just easier. And I could tell you, them game wardens probably worked in the old days. Just like these guys running lions and canned hunts and all, they had to work for that money. Because for one, you didn't get paid. You want to make a good outfitter? Don't say you don't get paid unless you catch something. Some of those outfitters don't care. Not all of you guys.
That's where those caged hunts come from.
But because if they didn't catch, I think it was Ed Vance saying, I didn't make it was $3,000. I didn't make no money unless I caught it. So I was out there working. Now you're getting paid no matter if you catch it or not. And our excuse is it's for the experience. And I'm not saying experience ain't there, So everybody loves the experience. I took a lot of people out and they're like, I had a guy come from California for a bear hunt. And by Thursday, he got there Thursday night, we sat around the fire and bullshitted. And he said, it's worth the money already. He goes, I could go home happy right now because we had such a good time, But he didn't pay me for that, If you had to catch something to get paid, then I
Then
think
it becomes a lot of work.
Yeah, but now, I mean, that's why they know they're going to get paid, so they have to shoot whatever they can. That's probably what they do. And like Jared was talking about, what was it? What is his called? North Ridge Outfitters? Is that what I said they were? Or South Ridge Outfitters? That guy works, and we had some Texans out there, and they wanted to shoot that little Tom. And it was a legal Tom. Would I have shot that Tom? No. But these are people who've never been around a lion, and they get to see a lion in a tree, and they're going to go for it. They don't care. And if your client wants to shoot a legal Tom or a bear or whatever it is, you're going to. But I don't say, here, give me my money. If I don't get him something, I'm like, well, come back. Whenever you get a weekend or whatever time, come back, and I'll try to get you something. But I'm not in it for the money. I make enough money on my OnlyFans. Bearded Bellies. Chris with the beardedbelly.com. So,
and Benny bearded backs.
This ain't my real beard, guys. Benny sends me a chunk full every month, and I just keep it going.
No, Benny's hair on his back's the same color as that on his head and his face. It's great.
I have to dye it just for men.
And I ain't kidding you. It's like 8 inches long. I mean, you could braid it.
So, I mean, just go back to where we was talking about the National Houndsman Association. I think it's going to be a very long road. I think you're going to have to meticulously pick people that aren't just screw the antis, because the antis have feelings too. The antis have a way they do things, and everybody's like, screw it. We should just be able to do what we want. And I don't think that's a good attitude. Do I think that? Yeah. Mind your own business. If I want to post a lion coming out of a tree hitting 4 branches, don't watch it. But we can't do that.
Well,
you got to be cautious.
I said that before, and I know I said it when we were talking this weekend, about the videos I make. I realized that there wasn't any glory or anything. They're missing the part of the hunt that's worth something. I mean, just shooting one out of a tree, it's just like shooting a can, really. I mean, you just see something die. But the hunt is getting there. The hunt is finding the animal. The hunt is watching the dogs work. And in my opinion, I guess a guy that's never seen one in a tree doesn't think that. But
you know where it matters? When Joe Hott is sitting there with 80 years of experience telling us these crazy stories. And you're like, that's what it's about. That old man that did it all before. And
after all these years, still getting excited talking about it.
He was hunting yesterday.
Yeah, old man.
80 years old. Can't see, but I'm out hunting. So, and cowboying.
Yeah, they say he's a hell of a cowboy.
Yeah. So, Casey had some good stories.
Rough country cowboy. I mean, gathering cattle in that country, you can't be a Nimrod.
No. Oh, no. And, Casey, he had some good stories. Good stories. And he can tell a story. I don't know how true they are, but he can tell a story.
Yeah, he was fun.
It was a good time, guys. I even with me and Wayne picking at me the whole time we got there, and it was just a good time.
I enjoyed talking to Wayne.
Yeah, you gave his daughter that dog, and she carried that dog everywhere, and she was telling us how to train a dog. She didn't back down. It was her way. She didn't care about your way. So, yep. I think we need more kids there. I really do.
Well, I want to, good Lord willing and everything, I'd like to take a mule next year, because I was invited to go hunt, all week there. And I'd like to take a mule and spend the week, however the timing falls with when the season opens or whatever. But I guess lion season and bear opens at the same time, Chris?
Archery bear. Lion opens in August. Archery bear open. Look at Benny just smiling.
Man, look at that. That's like a portrait.
Yeah, it looks like if you
I should
move
take a
that
screenshot
tape,
of that.
So let me do it real quick. Got it. I got it.
So that we can even put him up there. Now we can put him up there even when he doesn't show up.
Yep. So good luck, Chris, or whoever's running that National Houndsman Association. If you need help,
talk to Chris.
Whether you like us or not, it don't matter, because my money is just as green as the next guy's money, and I think we've proven that we can raise some money. And dropping a bucket, it still takes a lot of drops to fill the bucket. So it's all those little drops in the bucket that count. And we do appreciate I'm trying to think who we missed. Who did we miss that came out? We got
I'm sure we
Strike.
did.
That's what's that? What's his address? Coldstrike.
The guy's from Tennessee. Well, I can't remember his name.
Chris. I don't remember the dad's name. Chris, though. Those guys.
They were a lot of fun to talk to. They were good guys, real good guys.
Yep.
There was the couple from Missouri.
Oh, Cody Massengale and his wife.
Yeah.
My wife went over there and visited with them for a long time, and she really enjoyed talking to him.
Forrest Wagner was there. He's a hoot. He's a crap talking sucker too. Chris's dad was like, "Hey, when you're done with that gal there, you send her my way." Cody Lynn. He's talking about Cody, my daughter. Now, that's a good hand.
Man, she's a good hand. There is no doubt about that.
Brett turned and said, 200. Do I hear 200?
I had them going. I got another $40, $50 out of them by getting them to compete with each other. I had to kick in a little bit. I had to kind of kick in a little bit to keep that one gal, or get the little girl, keep her going.
So yep, it was a good time for the little time we was there. It was a good time.
And we can
hopefully
next time advertise it a little sooner. Probably, get it out.
Well, we know what the plan. Even Diane, the host, is it Diane or Diana?
Diana, I think. Diana and Chris. Fair.
The sewer plant father and son. Who is that?
The sewer plant father and son.
I want to tell Ryan's story, kind of so bad, but I can't.
Yeah,
really.
But I don't know
the legalities of it.
It's
such a good story.
Here we go. We got to bring in some politics here. Yeah, but I think he corrected his ways about that. The more I listen to him nowadays, the more it sounds like I'm talking about Joe Rogan. The more it sounds like he's more. He liked what's with RFK? What's his name?
Robert Kennedy.
Yeah, the guy who just dropped out and supported Trump. And the more I listen to Joe, the more he sounds like he's in Trump's camp. I don't know. We kind of got to keep a lot of the politics out of these things, because people take it personal.
They can go take a pee while we're talking about it and come back.
Who had the plot?
The plot. Oh, it was the one I said. That's the ones I said. You said, who are those guys? And I said, they're undercover. But that big guy, I don't know, but I'm not going to guess because he's too big.
Yeah, I wouldn't mess with him. He was a big dude.
He's a big dude.
That Jeremy.
He's just that big guy's just beady-eyed and oversized. He's got elephantitis of the torso.
This was him and Benny. It was like this. I like to see Benny and him fight. Next year.
Benny be punching him in the kneecaps.
Next year we'll get that guy back and we're going to have a fight.
I guarantee he's aiming for his kneecap.
That Jeremy, boy, I tell you what now, that is a big old raw bone dude now. He doesn't look that big on his videos.
Well, I know, Sonny. Come down and go bear hunting. Your unit was closed anyways because you shoot all the sows.
Uh-oh, we got controversy. Arizona controversy. I can get in on this.
It's just sunny. That actually was kind of cool because I went bear hunting Friday and I didn't go I didn't go Saturday. We kind of hung out. I just had to set stuff up. But next year, that's why I'm saying I want to go Thursday and then come in. And all those bear hunters, they could come in Saturday. They don't have to be there. They
And
go hunting. We didn't even eat dinner till 7:30.
And nobody, I mean, those guys are hunting now. I mean,
Yeah.
Casey and them, and Casey and Jeremy, that's all that are hunting right now, right, Chris?
Oh, yeah.
So it's not like you brought a bunch of hunters into that area to take your bears or anything.
What I'm saying is you're not going to miss out on hunting, you know. So I think I think it was kind of fun doing it that way. Benny's always frozen.
Yeah, you just don't ever know what look you're going to get out of him.
And the reason I do that is so that the game wardens never know which picture to take of me.
They probably got a picture of you right on their dash.
Oh yeah, it's a screensaver. It's a screensaver.
There's one. There's a good frozen picture. A snot rocket.
Picking his nose on camera.
No, I was kind of worried about the time, but man, I ran around and I was running around trying to shoot a deer too. So I think it was fun. I think everybody got to tell stories. Sonny, I think you'd enjoy it, even if you just came down like one day, Saturday. But even if you came down, at least you still get to hunt. So if you came down and hunted Friday and come to the auction Friday night, and then go hunting Saturday, come to the dinner Saturday night, and you be back hunting Sunday. And at least you do. That's good. You probably hunted down there, Sonny. I don't know if you have or not. I never hunted down there. Not that far down. Up top I have for deer, but not down that far. But, man, that's big country. Big, pretty country. You're going to walk. There's not a lot of roads there, you know. And that's deep, dirty, stinky country. Where we went hunting Friday, it's pretty good.
You should have a mule, huh? And know the country.
Oh, yep. But there's some flat spots you could. I'd like to go. There's a wilderness that has a creek that runs all the way through it right there to the west, and I'd like to go ride all the way down that creek right through that wilderness. I think that'd be a good ride. And that wilderness was only 500 yards from where we were camped.
What about that area they were talking about that was just full of those berries?
Oh, it's 5. My uncle shows up, and he runs that road, the main road, and goes down there 5 miles. He goes, there's a stretch of 5 miles of nothing but them blackberries.
Well, did he say there was a lot of bear sign in there?
Oh, nah, he was probably just in there picking berries. You seen that minivan he drives, right? There's 2 engines in that.
He's a mechanical genius. How does he start them? Does he start them separately and then sync them up? Or?
That's first time I seen it. I don't know. And what's crazy is his wife's in a wheelchair and he has all the hand controls in it for her. He said that thing will get up and go. He takes those Toyota Corollas and lifts them, puts winches on them. Seen him make a tractor out of a Mazda truck. He drilled his own well, built a well driller out of some ditch witch and drilled down a few hundred feet.
Got his water.
Yeah. So, I was worried about the time frame. What's that?
Who were the 2 guys that were there? The one older guy had lost so much weight. He had his belt halfway wrapped around his body.
Oh, they were from Globe. They were from my Born 100 Years Too Late channel. They came up and they just wanted to talk to me for a little while. I enjoyed talking to him. He was a neat old man.
So they showed up just to talk to you?
Yeah, they just showed up outside the gate there. They never came into the rendezvous. I was parked out there waiting for it to open. And they came up and he came up and talked to me for a long time. He was 74, 75 years old. And he had lost over 50-something pounds. And just by going carnivore, he said all he ate was meat, eggs, and that's it. A little bit of dairy. And he said that he should pull down his shirt, and he had a big old scar right there where he had open heart surgery. And he said after he went carnivore, and for I forget what, he'd been on it for a year or something like that. he always had high blood pressure. He always had, heart problems and this and that, and was, I think, borderline diabetes, and his blood sugar was always up high, and he had to take pills to keep it down. He said after he went carnivore, all his numbers came down. He said he was perfect, that nothing. And I asked him, I said, well, what does your doctor think about it? And he said, well, he still doesn't like it. But, doctors aren't, of course, I'm a podcast addict, and I listen to a lot of podcasts. And doctors aren't trained for nutrition. They're trained just to correct problems after you're sick. And there was if you look up, any of you guys interested in that, look up Tucker Carlson. And I can't remember which podcast it was, but this lady was a surgeon, and she quit her practice just so she could get into the nutrition and start educating people on avoiding certain foods. They're not necessarily carnivore, but they're a whole food, more of a whole food diet. And because she said we're fixing people, we're cutting on people and operating on them where they could, if they would just eat correctly, that would never happen. There you go. There's a rabbit hole you want to go down. Well,
Meat Eater had a guy on there that did same thing. Had no cholesterol, had no everything, and it's all he ate was meat. That's all he ate. So that's what I kind of do. I kind of do the carnivore diet.
Yeah,
I cheat though. Tonight I had spaghetti.
See, I've of course I haven't lost a lot of weight. I gained a lot of weight this year, but prior to this year, that's all I ate. But I'll still eat vegetables and stuff, but I don't eat any breads or any processed food or anything like that.
Yeah.
But my numbers have always been good. It's just I try to die about every 7 years or so.
Yeah, well. So you're good for another, 6 years then?
I think I got another good 6 years before I get sick again.
That's all that matters. That's all that matters.
Now we lost Benny. He's not frozen. He's just gone now.
Yeah.
Not gone and frozen. Back, but frozen.
Stanford. Yeah, there you go. Ryan Bailey. Casey Means. Casey Means, was that their name? Yep, that was it.
Guy. Ryan's a pretty smart guy.
That was it, Ryan. That's the podcast. Absolutely, that lady was fun to listen to.
Yep. So regardless, we had a good weekend.
It was fun. It was fun, and I'm not big on doing things like that.
Yep. So.
What else? What else do we got?
I don't know. I can't believe we've almost been on 2 hours already. It feels like an hour. Right? Yeah, we've been on almost 2 hours.
Hour and 38 minutes, according to this deal.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah, we had to restart, though.
Any questions out of the...
Yeah, anybody got any questions? I feel like there's something I should have talked about too.
Well, like you were saying though, there's lots of ways to improve it. As far as like having some games and trying to encourage kids to come. Have activities, something for them to do, and then, of course, I want to go hunt.
Yep, Sonny's been trying to get me to go to his vet camp, and I really try, and I swear something always comes up.
When is it, Sonny?
It's the first weekend of bear season, right, Sonny? I guess we could get him on to talk about it.
Send him a link. Send him a link. Send him a link.
He ain't doing nothing else but sitting around and harassing me anyways.
I used to live in Estancia, Sean, and it was a regular occasion for me to go up to Topia Peak and then go over through 4th of July campground and all that country. You okay, Chris?
Yeah, I'm trying to move my stuff around here. I can't see the. I'm gonna send him a link.
We're gonna have to get Benny some good internet. I thought he got good internet.
I thought he upgraded his internet. That's
Now
what he
he's
said.
sitting there frozen with his mouth open.
Where's our welder? We didn't have our welding segment tonight.
Sonny, what was his name? Hot Pat. What's his name?
Sonny Passmore.
Passmore. Hot Pass. He changed his name to Sonny 7018.
We had a welding seminar with me and Cody.
Oh, at the rendezvous.
Yeah.
She's gonna go to she's transferring over to the other side.
After this weekend, she might just quit everything and start hunting.
Oh man, she got her dogs. Oh, 216. Trying to send Sonny the link here, guys. Let me see if it'll work. Oh, it's not doing it. I see. Okay.
That's right, Robert. And it was a bad day today too. I spent all day on a blade, and then towards the end of the day came a terrible stinking rainstorm, and I ran a stop through a front tire, and the guy that my tire got stuck in the mud. Had to wait.
Oh goodness!
Jobs are over. Hey, Brett, I sent you the controls of that blade?
Yeah, I seen that picture. And it's all just stick. I mean, everything's hydraulic.
It's all on joysticks.
Does it and does the back tires go back and forth, and then the front tires wobble like that?
Yep. And 100%.
You see the big rainbow? Go tell Mom and the girls.
I took a picture of it.
Yes, all of that controls are there, Brett, and it's still 100%.
There was two of them.
100%.
100% on the joysticks.
Go tell Mom.
That's amazing. I bet I bet it's fun to run.
Tell Mom. Hurry. Tell the girls, come look. Hurry.
Man, look at that. This is what got Chris distracted right there. That's neat. You don't see a rainbow like that every day.
Yeah.
Put it on 0.5 go to your camera and zoom all the way in. Out.
Robert Chase way over me. What did I miss?
Yes. It's a 140.
There he is. I kept trying to get you on, and I just got a black screen earlier, Sonny.
Hey, thanks for letting me join.
There you're black again.
I know this is supposed to be a political show. That's the same crap that Kamala Harris keeps pulling.
Are you there, Sonny?
Can you hear me?
I can hear you, but we can't see you. We got a black screen.
It's probably good because he's ugly anyways.
Yeah, it might be black anyways. See.
Log out, and log back in. Oh, or
there he is.
There you go.
And then we lost him.
Oh shit, gone.
Robert Chase, way overrated. 0.14. What does that mean?
A 140M model of the blade that I was running today.
Oh, okay.
There
He
we
is. We got him. He is ugly. My gosh. Maybe we should go back to a black screen. We got Benny here, so you'll fit right in.
In good shape, huh?
you fit right in with that. I mean, look at me and Chris too. I mean, we're not going to be no models.
Yeah.
That rendezvous sounded fun.
It was a good time. It really was.
Already sent Brett one.
Nice.
It actually was for us, like for throwing it together. Like it really came out pretty cool. So,
So tell us about what you got. What is your deal?
So I run a nonprofit. So my nonprofit is
501c3.
501c3.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I take wounded vets and mobility impaired kids, and the first week of bear season, we do a bear camp, and it's all houndsmen. And bear season starts on Friday, which is opening weekend. Everybody shows up on Thursday. On Friday, we hunt all day. On Saturday, we hunt half a day, and then we talk about our nonprofit, and it's a kind of a meet and greet. And invite, whoever wants to come. We cook hamburgers, hot dogs, bunch of food, bunch of dessert, and then I bring out a band.
Oh, cool!
And we all sit around the campfire. It's pretty cool. It's all it's all vet related. All the guys that are there, all the hunters are veterans. And every once in a while, I'll bring a mobility impaired kid if I have the right one.
It's for a good cause.
Oh, yes. I've been doing it since 2011.
Oh, no kidding.
And this year, I think every day there's 50 people there, and then on Saturday there was over 100. It was it was pretty cool. So we hunt. Like when we hunt bears, I only hunt till about 5:00 in the evening because if you get on a bad bear, you're gonna get to a bear tree after dark, and you're gonna waste your dogs for the day. So I just don't, if I don't get nothing going on by 5:30, I come back to camp, and we have cooks and we make good dinner all every night we come in, we eat as a group, we have good dinners, and I mean top-notch dinners, and then we all sit around the campfire and talk about lives.
Yeah, bear
so it's actually pretty cool. And the vets talk about their time in deployment, and it's actually a pretty good time.
Cool. And you have it there in Arizona?
You guys did it. Yeah, we have it there. I live in Springerville.
Okay.
So it's in the mountains of Springerville. It's actually pretty cool.
I didn't see you there yesterday. I was in Springerville yesterday. Yeah, I didn't see you.
Oh, was you? Oh, we killed a bear yesterday, and now I'm stuck hunting, deer hunting with a deer client. I'm stuck doing that when the bear season's going on.
Do you guide full time?
Yeah, that's all I do.
Oh, cool.
I've been pretty blessed in my day. I've had my own guide service since 2000, and I haven't had a real job since.
Do you have some good cages?
Just kidding. I was hearing your guys' stories. I can't tell you guys every secret. You guys got some undercover guys there, Chris said.
Just wait till he's 80 years old, then he can talk about it.
Yeah, then he can talk about it.
Right. So I mean, I run a guide service, but my passion is taking these vets and mobility impaired kids. So I'm endorsed by the Game and Fish, and we get donated tags through people that turn in their tags or whatnot. So I mean, like that situation, I still take them, but I don't charge them a dime. And what's cool about my nonprofit is I have 5 board members, and not one of us get paid. It's all volunteer. All the money that's raised goes back into the nonprofit.
That's the way it should be. Yeah, that's good.
So your beginning story is kind of cool because you didn't go to the military, so you kind of thought, well, I'm going to pay it forward or pay it back.
So how it all started was I was in 9/11, 2001. I was hunting in New Mexico, and I had a client. We shot a bull. We made a bad shot on a bull that morning, and when we walked, it was about like 3 or 4 miles back to the truck. So I walked back to the truck, and when it started up, the radio was always on. And when I started the radio or the truck, the radio was on, and I can hear the aftermath of 9/11, but I didn't know what it was. So what I heard was, people are running through the fields in business suits and briefcases and stuff. And I looked over at my client and I said, "Man, there must have been one hell of an earthquake." And then about that time, the radio came on and said the second plane had hit the other tower, and so we kind of, beat feet to the lodge, and everybody was glued to the TV. And I remember how it changed everybody. And this client, then we shot a big bull, and we gave him 4 hours, and I said, "Hey, let's go back and track that bull." And he said, "I think I'm going to stay here and watch see what's going on." So I went back and I went and found that bull, and I took care of it and packed it all out myself. And I remember thinking, I guess you never really paid attention about, airplanes flying when there's no airplanes, there was nothing in the sky. And it kind of made you think about, what the hell was really going on. So I got back out, from that hunt. I was married and I had a 4-year-old son, and I told my wife that I was going to go and enlist in the service. And she said, "How come?" And I said, "Because, I'm kind of pissed and I need to fight. We got to fight for our freedom." So anyway, she told me every reason why I shouldn't, because, she's going to be a widow and my son wasn't going to have a dad. And, the realization of, going to war, you may not come back.
Yeah.
So I kind of changed my mind and I didn't go, and I always felt guilty about it. Here I am living a dream that I wanted to do since I was 10 years old. And when I turned 18, I became a professional hunting guide. And so I kept on thinking about how I can do it. And I started taking vets on bear hunts. And the first guy I ever took was a double amputee, was hit by an IED. And I knew that freedom there was a price for freedom. I just didn't know what the price was until, I took that guy. And holy cow. I really, I didn't know that there was rules in war, and we're the only ones that abide by them.
Yeah.
So it really opened my eyes to what a lot of people don't really know about, war and or freedom, much less, and so I started doing, and there's, I've met some pretty awesome guys. And matter of fact, the guy that you guys watched the movie 12 Strong, haven't you? It's about the guys that went into Afghanistan on horseback, 12 of them.
Oh no,
It's
I
a
haven't
true
seen
story.
that.
Well, anyways, it's a pretty cool story. It's a pretty cool movie. And the commander of that his name is Sergeant Major Glass, and he's a Green Beret, and he's actually one of my board members. Him and I became really, really good friends. And, we had the same passions. My passion's hunting, but my second love is riding Harleys. And he was a big time Harley guy. So he lived down in the valley and in Phoenix. So him and I would spend a lot of time together, and he's one of my board members, and talk about some cool stories that he's told me. And, if you ever get a chance to watch that movie, it's pretty cool.
Where is it on Netflix or where can you watch it?
What's the name of it?
12 Strong.
Oh man.
Yeah, it's on Netflix. It's a pretty cool movie. And so there was 12 of them, and they're all Green Berets, but there was only 6 horses. So only 6 of them got to go, and 6 of them stayed back. It's actually pretty cool. And I asked him how close to realization it was, and he said it was real close until you get guys there shooting tanks off of horses and shit. That wasn't real, but he said the stuff leading up to it was pretty real. He said it was pretty cool. I mean, it's pretty cool movie.
Got to have the dramatics to make it a good movie.
You got to have the dramatics of Hollywood for sure. Yeah.
Let's see if I
You know,
can
you
do.
guys talk about Chris. You guys talk about Chris Powell. Well, Chris Powell came to my bear camp one year,
Oh,
and
cool.
actually, and so did Calvin Redhouse. He's a good friend of mine,
Yeah.
and he did a podcast there right there at bear camp.
Oh,
And
cool.
Sergeant Major was one of the guys there, and he interviewed Sergeant Major. And you can probably go back and look at his podcast and listen to some of the stories from Sergeant Major. But it was actually pretty cool. Then it would be
That was
cool to
last
have you,
year. Wasn't
Chris.
that
You know,
last couple years ago? 2 years
no,
ago?
that was probably about. I bet you that was 6 years ago
Gosh
when
dang,
Chris
maybe
came.
it was.
It was a long time ago.
Hmm.
But you know, I mean, I watched your 100 years too. Born 100 years too late. As a matter of fact, and I get pissed off whenever you don't have a new one, and it takes about 2 weeks. Because every night before I go to bed, I scan through YouTube and I see if you have a new, podcast or a new episode on, and you don't, and I'm like, damn it. But
I'm
I
old
really
and
do,
slow.
right? I really do enjoy your videos, and I really
Oh,
enjoyed
thank you.
your mule ones. Getting all those new mules.
Thank you. That was when my old mule died, I didn't know what I was gonna
Right.
do. I kind of depended on her, and
Right.
but those two fell in my lap, and they're working out real well.
Yeah, that's awesome, man. That's awesome. I got mules myself, but mine are not as good as yours.
Oh well, I just
Mine are a little bit western sometimes.
with the mule deal, I just got lucky. I mean, I hear Benny's story about his mule and the one that he fertilized the garden with, and I've heard lots of stories about bad mules. And I've had one that I got two really. I got one out there I packed, my Ruth mule. She's just scared. She got scared of me. I made a mistake with her is what happened. It was my fault. And then that black mule, she was a good pack mule, but all the other ones, Jet and Agnes and Bonnie, and I've rode quite a few, that other guys had. Of course, it took me a little while to learn. I was raised on horses, and I competed, and I've spent a lot of time, riding. I was raised on a quarter horse ranch. But mules are a different story. There's no doubt about that.
They don't ever some kind of a of them.
They don't forget. Geez, Louise, you make a mistake on them, and you pay for it for a long time.
Right.
But no, that's cool. What you do, that's great.
I always, tell everybody, because I do a lot of fundraisers here and there, little fundraisers, like ATV, rides and stuff with vets, and then I invite the public out and stuff. But everybody has the same opportunity to make a difference in someone's life, and it doesn't mean you have to do it in a 501(c) or whatever. But just just a story or or whatnot. Just try to always make a difference and make someone make someone's day or smile. Because I don't do that all the time. Because
you still got to make a living sometimes.
He is a bully. He tries to bully me all the time. He calls me and says, "Quit shooting them sows over there." Man, I hadn't even been out.
Hell, I've never seen it. I don't think I've ever seen him before, but looking at him now, he looks like one of those bears you guys hunt.
Oh shit! Me and Chris don't live too far from each other, and we've done some hunting together, and I got to give him some crap. You know that?
Oh yeah.
If you don't give Chris any crap, then you're not in the right mindset.
That's like me and Benny. I always tease Benny, but we've known each other for quite a while.
He disappeared again.
Yeah, he does that. You probably made him mad.
And he's commenting now, so that means his internet's crappy.
Oh shit! Yeah.
Yeah, it happens.
There they go. If he's not talking about welding, then he's talking about now he's running a blade. Now he's got to be talking about blades.
Oh, there's something about a blade operator.
It's going to be Benny's show here soon.
I know.
Yeah.
Hey, did you see Sonny's comment?
Sonny.
He said, yeah, he jumped on. He goes back for another episode of 7018 with Benny. Just turned it on in 2 seconds. You're wondering where Sonny is. I'm famous. Just kidding. Hope you guys had a good drink time. He
Benny,
jumped on
thanks.
right as we were talking about him.
Thanks
The
for
other
dropping
Sonny.
in, Benny.
Huh.
I think Benny just going night-night.
Yeah. I'm not
It's
far
8
from
o'clock
that.
over
I'm
there.
tired.
Yeah.
I had a long drive.
You
And my
did
wife.
good this
So, you know,
weekend?
whenever you're up there and sometimes you cook you a steak on the side of the mountain,
Man.
is it a ribeye or what is it?
Ribeye. Well, sometimes New York strip, but most of the time it's a ribeye.
At least it's a good steak, huh?
Yeah,
Man,
I
tell
leave.
you what.
Everybody asks me how I do that. Man, that thing's frozen solid when I leave the house. And I always got to cook it on the first night. And
Yeah.
I love to do that. That makes the trip.
They smoked that tri-tip this weekend, and it come out good.
Did it?
Yeah.
Yeah. What they did is they cut it up and served it. Big piles of it.
Yeah, they cut it
And
in slices.
it had good flavor. It was tender as heck.
How many people showed up?
40 on the dinner. Probably I would say about 60 or 70 showed up coming in and out.
That's a pretty good turnout, really.
For a
It was
throw
good.
together, yeah, we had Robert Chase. He said that was the first thing I did was when I met Chris was mess with him. He came from Colorado.
Yeah.
We had Jeremy, and I tell you what, Jeremy was standing there next to me when we set up that tent, and I didn't realize that's who it was.
Louisiana hunting.
Yeah, I thought he was just a fat kid.
Oh, he showed up.
That guy's
That's
a
a big
monster.
dude.
That guy's a monster.
Yeah, he drove all the way from Louisiana just to come over here. I feel kind of bad because I couldn't stay down there. I'm like, dang, man. That's why I want next year. We're going to do it for the whole week and just go shut units down. I mean, we're just going to have a good time.
You only stayed for a day or two or what, Chris?
I got there Thursday, and I had to get back for today, do some stuff, PI stuff. So.
Hell's bells.
But, yeah, I hunted with the rancher Friday. That was a lot of fun. And then almost glad I didn't start something, man. That's rough country where we was riding down in there. Jeez.
You probably
had a good hike.
I've hunted lions.
What's that?
Huh?
You probably
I've
had a
hunted
horse you
lions
could ride.
down there.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah.
No, you're good.
No, we was trying to get a bear. And then he started a lion. So it was whatever. She had a tag for both. That gal who the shooter. So it didn't matter. Whatever we got is what we was gonna get. So, but he has a cool little ranch down there. I mean, it's way down there. It took us an hour to get down there with the horse. It took us an hour to get out with the horse trailer, and we knew where we was going. So it takes, if you have a horse trailer, my horse trailer ain't light, So, but like I was telling earlier, I said, man, the coolest part of this whole rendezvous was Sunday morning. We just all kind of gathered around. It's like a church around my trailer. And we just started telling stories, and everybody just sat there. And I got up, made some breakfast, sat there long enough where I got up, made some lunch. Another hour, I would have had to make some dinner.
Yeah, I sat right there on the edge of his trailer, and I ate breakfast and lunch, and I don't think I ever moved.
Never moved.
Hey, that's not a bad day.
Come here. His wife said, come here, put some suntan lotion on you, some sunscreen. He said, I'm in the shade. I ain't moving. And he didn't.
Did you wear your big hat, Brett?
Oh, yeah. Yeah. I got up, Sunday morning, and I put on a pair of sweats and my hiking boots, and that's what I wore all day long.
He did. He just stayed in his sweats.
I don't care. And my big hat. Well, my wife brought my big hat to me. She worries about me because I'm pigment impaired. I get sunburned real easy. So
damn redheads.
I know, it sucks.
Damn redheads.
Yeah,
they say that redheads have no soul.
Well, my wife might agree with you on that one.
I've seen it leave his body a couple times.
Hey, my girlfriend's a damn redhead, and I'll tell you that they don't.
Well, I tell you what, I was a redhead that spent half my life in Corrales, and then the rest in Estancia on the Tahiki Highway. And they picked on.
So you had to fight a lot.
Oh, they picked on me constantly. I got picked on. Oh, I've heard it all. I mean, heard it all. They used to. I would in junior high school. I was taller than everybody, and so they called me the Towering Inferno because of that movie that came out. And I had the red hair. They called me the Towering Inferno. Then of course, redhead, freckle face, strawberry. They called me that. And then a guy walked up to me and said, I'd rather be brown on the head like a knot on a log than red on the head like a dick on a dog. And, I just hear it. And I mean, it got where somebody'd say something to me, and then I'd get mad, and it would cause it to happen more and more, because they like to see me get mad. Chase them around. It was crazy.
Someone trying to call.
But
well, it's one of my guides.
But yeah, it was. But I'm not. I'm really, really mellow nowadays.
Yeah, it's not what Chris Watson says.
Well, I call Chris is like my. I get to call Chris and I get to bitch about stuff, and that's what I do. And Chris listens to me, and he's real political, and he's real easy to get along with. So that's why I like to bitch at him. He's real easy to get along with. Then I get off the phone, I kind of say, "Oh, okay, well maybe he's right."
I do the same thing with Chris. I call him and I bitch at him, or with him.
We was talking about those sows. We was having a conversation about those sows. Actually, was that Sunday? When we said maybe there's just so many bear over there, it's all maybe that some of them sows need killed, but I think it's even me and Sonny talked about it too. But it's the principle of some of those people who are treeing them or can tell what they are, still whacking them just for money.
And here's the thing that is like what I told Chris about it. Everybody should have an opportunity to enjoy what they love to do, for sure. But when you're shooting bears, as a long range shooter at 1,400 yards, holy cow, man! And that's where I kind of, it makes me have the red ass for sure. Because I grew up here and I lived here my whole life, and to close down your season for a year in 4 days. They hit the sale quota the first day. Is
how many do you have an estimate of how many of those were shot by people without hounds? I mean, long range or something like that.
I haven't done that yet. What's crazy is my next door neighbor is the main warden for all of Region 1, which is here. So he just lives right down the road from me. I got a good relationship with the wardens here, but you still got to, what do they say? Keep your enemies close.
Keep your friends close and your enemies closer.
Right. So I got to talk to him about it because I was pretty bummed out that they closed the season for a year. It's all year. So I have to go to Unit 27, which is good too, but it's 30 minutes for me instead of 5 minutes. Well, anyways, so he's the one that pulled up the numbers, and in 5 days they killed 40 bears.
Wow.
So there was 40 bears killed, and there was 15. So he's like, "What do you think we should do?" And I'm like, "I don't know." I said, "You guys are the experts, but I think you should be able to, at least, when it hits the sow quota, be able to call. I think you should call every day instead of, because if it hits the sow quota on the first day, it doesn't close until that following Wednesday at sunset. So it could go on and on and on. So that's why I ended up killing so many dang bears, because it hit the sow quota on Friday, but it kept going.
Do you attribute that to? I always thought that when you have quotas, and then you hit the quota so fast, is that because there's an overabundance of bears and they need to raise the quota?
I don't think so. And this is what I think. And me and Chris has talked about it, and I think that, ever since the fire here in 2011. For some reason, it started getting raspberries, and a lot of raspberries. So before the fire, hound hunting was probably your only game in town for killing bears. And so what happens is we're real close to New Mexico. So I think some of those bears from New Mexico are coming into the feed because, bears will go a long ways.
Oh, yeah.
And matter of fact, I had a conversation so I killed a bear probably about 7 years ago. That was a collared bear, and the collar had been dead for like 2 years. They never had recaptured or whatnot. But anyways, the game, I called them and they said, "Hey, you going to give us that collar?" I said, the only way I'm going to give you this collar is if I get to see where this bear went and was going and coming from. So the guy, insured me, was one of the wardens that I was pretty good friends with. He gave me that information of where this bear would go, and he would go to from Unit 1, which is the Springville area. He would go all the way to San Carlos twice a year and back. And that's a long ways and through some rough country.
That was a boar?
And it was a boar. Yep. So I was talking to Wagner, and they started collaring bears, recently again. And he told me that they collared a bear that was going all the way to the Sandia every, I can't remember, every spring or what. He would go there and he would be back, and it would only take him to come back, to go there and back. It was only whenever he left the Sandias to come back. I think it was only like 10 days.
How far are the
That's a long damn
Sandias?
way.
Albuquerque. Oh, those Sandias.
So Albuquerque. Yeah.
Man,
he was going to the Sandia.
He had highways to cross and all kinds of stuff to go
Yeah,
through.
he had all kinds of interstate to cross and everything. He was going to the Sandia Mountain every year.
Baby's mama.
Once a year.
That's crazy.
No, that was crazy. And,
I never thought. I never.
Kind of intriguing.
I never knew bears traveled like that. I know that, like when I hunted with Orville Fletcher, we were looking for a lion that they'd lost signal with, and he got off for 2 years. They never could find a signal on him, and they I guess, and they never figured out where he went. But he showed back up 2 years later, and they got signal on him. So I don't know how those collars work, but I know for a fact that they'll walk all the way. There's lions will walk unbelievable distance.
So over there in Pine Top, in the country club, they usually have an abundance of bear problems. So they capture the bear. They capture the bears and they take them to Rose Peak, and Chris knows where it's at. But it's in between Springerville and Morenci, and it's closer to Morenci side than it is Springerville side, and that's where they dump. And it's off of the Mogollon Rim, and it's some rough shit. Well, anyways, he said that they trapped a bear this spring in the country club and took it to Rose Peak, and in 3 days it was back. And that's some rough ass country that is coming through. I mean, isn't it, Chris?
It's ridiculous crazy how their GPS works too in their brain, because they used to take them to Chevron Canyon too. Same thing back in days. They told me they took them 300 miles before and they were back within 5 days. That's not as the crow flies, But I do know, rumor wise, little birdie, that it happened in New Mexico a few years back too, where they said, "Oh, we don't have a lot of bears," and then all of a sudden it's like, "Oh crap, we did a different study on another animal and figured out our bear population is double." Arizona, I just heard our numbers are a lot higher than what they are. And where did that come from? Is it like California, to where there's so much growing and more trash to eat that they're not having to look for food? There's a ton of nuisance calls in Sholo Lakeside area. Ton of them.
Oh yeah, for sure. And just like Greer, and to go back to Brett's question, is there was abundance of bears? I would say, I mean, we got a number of bears here, but I think that just like that Chris saying in what I think the bears travel. I think that the bears are coming from New Mexico to come in to eat on the raspberries. because I mean, there's certain areas. There's like 3 different areas where there's big raspberries, and where all these long range shooters were concentrating on these bears, because you
could
you
see
can
them.
shoot them from a distance. You can see them now. But anyways, and they're shooting sub-adult bears. So a lot of the bears that they were killing, I'm not going to say all of them, but the majority of the bears that they're killing were 2-year-old sows.
Bears that
100
you
pounds,
guys
100.
bears that you guys would have left in the tree.
Well, with that being said, what you should leave in a tree, but not everybody's on the same page. And what's nice about this area where I live, there's a number of houndsmen, and we're all friends, and we all grew up together, but we all made a pact to say, you know what, let's don't kill female lions, and let's don't kill female bears. So the people that are around here, for the most part, we don't do that. Every once in a while you'll slip up and kill a female. You just couldn't figure it out, and it's a big sow, and you kill it, and you're like, oh shit, it's a sow. But I mean, that happens. But for the most part, we don't kill female sow or female bears, nor female lions, and that's where it's kind of you get a bunch of these guys that are coming from Utah because or New Mexico, because
New
we're the
Mexico.
first season. We're the first season that opens.
Yeah.
So I mean, if you got hounds, I mean, I don't blame them. If I have hounds and there ain't no other season, I'm going where I need to go. And I mean, I get that, but let's all get together, and let's all keep the unit open. Let's work together. You're a houndsman. Your idea of being a houndsman is being able to let that bear go and to catch another one, because you have the dog power or whatnot. And that's what I think, but it doesn't always work that way.
Well, here's the other thing. When you call on Friday and it says your unit shut down Wednesday, it's shutting down now. Everybody and their brother is going to shoot everything they see that is a bear, everything, because they know they can't come back.
I've heard that, I've heard guys say, "I'll just shoot whatever you can now," and I'm like, it's still, the principles still apply. Yes, it's going to close down for the season, but it still applies, because at the end of the day, you're not just killing a bear, you're killing your future. You're killing what you're going to catch later on, year after year. You know what I mean? So that's what it is for me.
Well, the lion, it's the deer. Remember the deer? Once they put a quota in, everybody's like, you better get your deer now because it's going to be closed soon.
Well, they got a deer quota in Unit 127, and it's already hit. Yeah. So it got hit yesterday, when it doesn't close until Wednesday, and that's the opening weekend.
Yep.
Wow.
I think it was 45. I think it was $45.
Yeah.
And that got killed in 3 days.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Everybody says it's going to close, so just take your typical Joe Blow. I can only get out for the weekend. Not a trophy hunter. I shouldn't even say trophy hunter. Just not someone who's looking for that. They're looking for something to fill their freezer.
Not selective.
Those guys, yeah. They're gonna, and then they know that it's closing and that the quota's gonna hit. They're not picky no more. When you start out a hunt, a normal, typical person. I used to be that guy. 7-day hunt. I'm not shooting that spike or 2.3. By the 4th, 5th day, you're like, I got to take something home.
Right.
So
I've got here, Marty is a friend of mine I talk to often. That's part of the problem. I mean, like the lions, and me and Orville Fletcher had a talk about that one time. I told him, I said, Orville, Orville would preach to me. He said, don't ever kill a female. He said, don't ever kill a lion unless you have a paying client. And of course, he was an outfitter and a guide. And he said, don't ever kill a female. And I said, man, Orville, I said, I have permission to hunt on these ranches. And if the rancher finds out that, if I left something in there, they'd never they'd take my key away from the gate. They wouldn't let me come in anymore. And Orville said, that's why you hunt by yourself. He said, nobody knows what you do.
Yeah, right. Go back to that rancher and say you stomped 3 kittens.
Yeah.
You're welcome.
If you want to see them, they're on top of that mountain over there. You got to hike up there, ride your mule.
Yep.
You know, I've had hounds. I've had hounds since the 90s, early 90s, and I've only killed one lion in my life. You know, and I don't. For me, it's, you know, just like you, Brett. I watch your videos, and you're out there with the dogs, and you catch a lion in a cave or whatever, and you let it go, and that's what it's about for me. But I'm like that guy. I don't kill a lion unless I have a client. You know, I've had a lot of friends. Hey, catch me a lion. I'll give you some dog food. Nah. You know, I mean, I don't.
I've never killed a bear myself. I never have. I've caught a few. I haven't caught a whole bunch, but I caught quite a few. And I've had guys with me. I've had 2 guys with me that kill bears. But man, I tell you what, that's with those stinking bears. When after you get one shot way back there in the woods somewhere, that's when all the work starts.
Oh yeah.
Said, Chris, are y'all required to take the meat out when you harvest a bear? Yes, sir.
In Arizona, you're in Arizona, but not New Mexico.
Not New Mexico. And
what about lion? You got to take the meat out of lion in New Mexico? I don't think so either.
No. You know what's crazy about Arizona, though? You have to take the meat out, but once you check it out, you can go throw it in the woods.
You just have to pack it out.
You just have to pack it out. Why? That's kind of a weird rule if you can just throw it away. You know.
Yeah, I got some mixed feelings about all that anyway. Probably people wouldn't like the way I feel about it, but
I eat bear, so I take it all out anyways, and I'd take any bear.
I think bear burger is probably some of the best wild game burger you can ever get. Honestly, what do you think, Chris?
Bear don't last long in my house. You know, the only bear that lasts long in my house is I killed a bear in 2010. It was the first bear I got with my dogs because I started running bear in 2010. I'm still eating that bear. I'm still eating that bear. They ate some of that bear this weekend. Oh wait, that was elk. So I eat bear. I'll eat lion, but I'm not those picky guys, and there's some guys that will not eat bear. So,
well, I didn't. You know, I'm not big on wild game. I really ain't, because you know I've guided my whole life since I was 18, and I've gutted, or I've cleaned some pretty gut shot stuff, and I've seen some crazy shit. You know, and I just, you know, the smell gets to you, and not that it's not good. It's just I'd rather just eat, you know, a ribeye or a New York or whatever. But I don't like, if I kill one personally, I give it all away. You know, I just rather not eat.
Well, I'll take all your bear fat. Save all that bear fat for me.
I'll give you damn elk meat or deer meat, whatever it is. I'll give it all to you.
No, I eat it. There's nothing. No matter how bad the meat, there's no bad meat when you mix it with green chili and put it in a tamale.
Yeah, probably true.
And I don't like deer. I don't like venison at all. I mean,
put it in a tamale.
Have you ever ate Coues deer?
No, I haven't. I haven't ever ate Coues deer. Does it taste like
I heard moose. Moose is really good. I've never had moose.
Oryx is really good.
Is that the real red meat?
Coues deer is like oryx.
Is it really?
It is. No, yeah, it's good.
And oryx.
But you know, I mean, moose meat's good, but it's kind of grainy. It's like stringy kind of. It's all right. But you know, like I said, I'd rather eat a damn pork steak or a damn ribeye. That's one. I'm good with that.
Yeah,
I don't need. Well.
You know, if you could marble out an elk or a deer like you could a cow or a steer, that'd be great.
It probably would be.
Yep. It's that fat that makes that steak taste real good. Troy Barber, did you get my email? I think I mentioned. Did I not mention your name? He donated $100 too.
Oh, cool.
Was it 100?
Man, anyways, I gotta donate you some money too. I've just been guiding. I just got back from deer hunting, so I still got to go feed dogs. So I got to jump off here. But you know,
I'll get with you too about the AWDA.
Yeah.
So
And I'd like for you to maybe join in on that bear hunt next year if you have time. You'd enjoy it. I know you would.
I just got to get over. He's been inviting me for like 10 years, and
Well, I'm gonna
I just got to go. It's way over at Big Lake.
I'd like to show up. That would be fun.
I didn't know I was allowed in Unit 1.
That's what I told my wife. My wife on the way home. I said, we probably should go do more things like this. Because I don't. I just don't. I'm kind of a loner, really.
You're a loner, yeah.
But it's fun. I enjoyed it, and I need to. And now in my old age, I need to get out and see more people and do more things. Well, like that.
Even when we got to the rendezvous, I said I should have just left my camp up there on the hill and just come down here. But it was all right. It's the same with Sonny's. I'm like, people, but I just need to go set my trailer up there and show him how to have a good time. Maybe next year we'll plan. Me and Brett will come over there and do a live.
There you
Screw
go.
Chris Powell.
Chris Powell's got
our podcasts are better.
Yeah.
I agree. I won't argue there. Hey,
thanks for jumping on,
Sonny. You guys have
a
good night. Thank you guys.
Thank you, Sonny. It's good talking to you.
You too. Bye-bye.
Thanks.
He invites me to that big bear thing, and I'm usually in 3B, and he's over. I'd have to run over there and camp because it's like an hour away from my camp. So it's over by Big Lake. It's pretty country.
I wanted to ask you about the unit that y'all are complaining about that filled so fast.
Unit 1.
How is it real easy to get around in?
There is a lot of roads, but there also is some dirty country. It's a big unit. It's a real big unit. Just look it up, Springerville there, that Unit 1. It goes all the way from Vernon and McNary all the way to Springerville and almost Alpine, I believe. So it's a big unit, but there's a lot of roads down here by 3B, and they already shut my unit down. So
where do you go now?
Probably. It closes Wednesday, so I have 2 days to hunt it. So kind of open back up in October, as long as they don't do stupid stuff. But
it'll open back up.
Yeah, open back up in October. Unit 1 won't, but 3B should, unless they whack all the bears in the next 2 days, and that's what they're doing.
What does it close for in the next 2 days? Archery or something? Deer?
No, they got the quota. It's supposed to stay open for 3 weeks.
Oh, but you said it would reopen. One unit you said would reopen.
3B, the unit I'm in, is shutting down Wednesday for archery and open back up October for rifle.
Well, they changed ours. We used to have our bear season used to open in August, mid-August sometime, and then in down here. But then they quit that, and then they always have. You can't have hounds in the woods during September during the archery hunts.
Yeah.
And then it opens up at the end of that, at the end of September, 1st of October there. Now, I think over there on the, by Rio Doso, I don't know the unit number over there. I've hunted lions over there 2 times with other guys, but I've never spent much time there. But I think the bear's going on there. And those guys, it's good to get around in, I think. That country's easy to get around in, and I think there's a lot of bears.
So I've had a lot of people ask me about Joe, and if you can pull that audio off your computer, it shouldn't skipped on your computer, recorded the whole time maybe, or no?
I think so, because I would get a notification that says internet lost, keep recording, and I would hit it and say yes. So I think
you can suck that audio off, then we'll put it on a podcast.
Yeah, I'll try.
A lot of people have asked me about it already.
Cool. Yeah, I'll see what I can do. Man, I got a hard week this week. I got to get everything ready because I'm leaving next Monday, and I got a lot of things I got to do.
So are you not doing a Monday Night Live?
No, I can't. No. I might be able to, if I can, I'll let you know. I might be able to take my laptop and my camera and do a remote live from my motel room.
Yeah.
And see, I've done that before. We've done that once before, haven't we?
Yeah,
no, I jumped, or did we do the Monday Night Live? or did I do
I
your
could go
Wednesday
through
night?
mine. I could probably go through mine. You can jump on your phone
Yeah, something like that. We'll see what we can do.
or your laptop. But I could stream it through. I think I'm set up on Interview Stories and Tales through StreamYard, so I might be able to do it through mine. Maybe we'll try it, see if it works. If not,
Yeah, that'd be
people
cool if
could
we
be
could.
mad at
That
us.
way we could always keep it going. You know, if one of us is gone or
Mhm.
something, we could kind of keep
I
it going.
think I did because I was a manager, so I think I got it to where I can open it through mine. We'll try it.
Okay,
Uh,
we'll see.
if anybody's interested in being part of that full cry, have them email us or what? Put their little logo on it with us. Throw in $100.
Yeah,
for
I
the
think
close.
I think what we'd like to do is, I mean, I could advertise. We advertise this, you know, interviews, stories, and tales, and antidote of a houndsman, and I might even kick in my Born 100 Years Too Late or something like that. And then that could just be a small part of it. And then if it's a half page, there's room to make a fairly big advertisement with some, you know, if there's an outfitter or something, someone who wants to advertise their business on it, let Chris
And that
know.
was brought up. Someone said, well, why would I want to sell a line hunt to line hunter? But all them coon hunters back east, all them people back east want to come do a line hunt. So if you want to jump in and get like a little big section of that with your guide service, maybe they could chip in like $300 and they'll get a big old logo there or something.
How many guys would like to hunt? Maybe that's what I should do. If you want to raise some money, I should go talk to Mike Root. Tell him, hey, let's because he's asked me to go with him and stuff like that. Say, let's kick in maybe a 5-day lion hunt or something, and I'll go with them. Mm-hmm. We'll go and set up a camp somewhere and hunt. Now you better be tough to hunt with Mike Root now.
I'll go just to hold a camera. You got to have someone. We didn't record nothing this weekend. I recorded on the way down. But when you're there and you're the host, the center of attention, I had to get up and talk to people. Damn. Benny was doing just fine. I don't know why to pull me in on it. Son of a...
I probably could have filmed, but it's hard to carry a camera around talking to different people and doing things. You don't want to stick a camera in their face.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah, because we should have talked to all those guys, and oh well. We never said we're perfect.
No, far from it. We got a thumbs up when you said that.
But
say we agree.
But we do have a great blueprint for the Hound Rendezvous next year.
Yeah, we learned a lot.
Yep, and if we keep it the same, and the same host over there that did all the dish do it the same, I was like, maybe next year we'll just have tacos. I got plenty of meat. They were good tacos. Tell me they weren't good tacos.
They were good. I think I ate 6 of them.
I have a big pile of corn tortillas, and I just keep, as long as the meat's there, I just keep making them, and I'll put them on a plate, put them on a plate. And I'll look over and they're gone. Make some more. Put them on a plate. I never stop making them until that meat's gone.
No. Well, and there was one left. There was one left on the plate, and I went over there and I asked you. I said, "Can I have that last one?"
Yeah. So, raffle off a bear. So next year, I want to do some of that stuff. I tell you what, you come over and you buy a bear tag, you'll probably we'll go chase something. That's why I was crazy.
No. This is all wrong. This was all wrong.
It was good. It was good.
I don't even like people. I don't even like people who eat sour cream.
I eat sour cream in everything. My egg. Jeez. Brett, I put in my egg burritos, and Brett was like, "No." I said, "What?
Don't put sour cream on that one I'm gonna eat."
Yep, I had to make him a special. I was like Burger King over there. His way, right away.
Do you see that? Where's the Colorado guys with their dynamite chili? They're bragging about how hot it was.
Did you see? Robert still says.
Did you see how I ate that?
Yeah. He ate the dino, and then Benny chickened out. He said Benny chickened out. He just left him there.
I did admit it was hot, but my eyes didn't water and my nose didn't run.
Well, you sweat.
I don't think I sweated either, so it wasn't that bad.
No, it was a good time. I liked meeting everybody too.
Mm-hmm.
So,
putting a face to
Jeremy,
a name.
He's a good old boy. I like to just listen to Jeremy's wife talk.
Oh yeah, his wife and my wife. Did you see how long they sat there and talked?
Oh,
they talked the whole time.
They had picnic tables there. They had fire rings. There's a little creek down in the bottom. People were picking blueberries. Or blackberries. They're picking the blackberries. Is undercovers who like sour cream have to stick together? Maybe. That's how I can tell if you're a real outlaw. If you don't eat sour cream, we're really coming after you. I mean, those undercovers are really coming after you.
What else?
Pups.
What else, Mr.
Sonny,
Chris?
You weren't here, but the pups brought almost $1,000. Well, everybody's kicking in stuff. I think the pups brought $700, and then everybody before they left would shake Brett's hand and
they had me $100 bill, and then I'd call Chris. I'd say, "Come here," and I'd give Chris $100.
Go in the pile.
And take care of this. If I took it home with me, I'd spend it. I'd just waste it.
For being, I was going to the booby bar here in a minute.
There you go.
So we walked away with $940 on a whim, and the host didn't lose no money, she said, but they didn't make no money. And I wish they'd make a little money for their time, even though they'll probably donate to their church. So next time we'll have a tip bucket for them or something. And
yeah, they work their butt off.
I think $25 is real cheap for that dinner.
Oh, yeah.
I'll be honest. I think next year we're going to bump it up. And I think we're going to, we kind of complained about, what's this $5 for parking or $10 a person. But I think, I don't care what they do with that. I don't care if they put it in their pocket. They did a lot of work. She said, we broke even, but they didn't because they worked days on it. So
yeah, that's not included their hours of labor.
Mm-hmm. I think it should be a $50 entry fee. And if it's a family, I think your dinners need to be a price. And then, because it's all, I think it's kind of turned into kind of a fundraiser. So whoever's New Mexico, Arizona, whatever, whoever we're trying to raise money for, even if it's that NHA,
NHA.
Chris.
National Hound.
To get Chris Powell some different color jeans, maybe. Those green jeans don't look good on him no more.
He might, from what I hear, he might not even take any money if he knew it came from me.
And you know what we didn't do? Because we just so busy talking. So now I got to save this. But you know why we didn't drink this? Because we had mason jars full of Kool-Aid.
Butterscotch,
apple. There was 6 flavors there.
I only tried the butterscotch, and
definitely.
I just drank. I just took 2 sips of it, and that was it. I can't drink that stuff.
And I might steal.
If I drank that stuff, I still might be over there running naked through the woods trying to catch a bear.
Yeah, yep. I'd be running around trying to shoot him with my bow. And I still got a bottle. Brett gave away a bunch of water bottles. I still got a bunch of cans left. So I'm going to find some sort of something that will stick on that can.
Yeah, we were going to try to auction them off the merch and everything. But I said, nah, I just took a big box of that stuff over there and started giving it to everybody. He said, here you go.
We just had no time. That's what I'm saying. We had no time. It was Saturday and Sunday, and get some Brindle striped jeans. And it was really too short. You could stay over there for a week and probably tell a different story every day with those guys. And you probably could maybe get Steve Smith over there one night just to sit at the campfire. People like that.
I talked to Steve quite a bit before, and he just was busy, and he said he'd like to come. I thought John was going to show up. John Klump, he acted like he was going to come, and then he John's always busy. He's always got irons in the fire now. He's always up to something, and he's gonna. I tell you what, John's going to do. Him and I kind of made a deal. I've got several interviews that I want to go do, and I'm going to try to talk Chris into helping me with a couple of them. Sit down interviews where we go and we set everything down and we do, like my other interviews where it's, not live, not over the internet. And I got several guys that I'm going to do. And John Klump stepped forward and said, hey, he said, I enjoy what you did. And because I did the interviews of him, he said, in Dos Cabezas, is it Dos Cabezas or Dos Vacas?
Dos Cabezas.
Dos Cabezas Cattle Company is going to help me out. So that's good. That's real good.
If you guys ever sat down with the old guy like Joe Hott, you would give $100 to Brett right now to go to the next guy, because that guy, Joe Hott, said, well, go talk to Nathan, and we're like, hopefully the guy's
never even heard of this Nathan guy before.
Yeah. Hopefully even a family member that hunted with him would be nice, just for him to tell some stories about him.
And that's what it's kind of frustrating to me, because I've had guys. Had a guy from Oregon say, hey, you need to come up here and interview this guy. Gosh darn, Oregon's a long ways away. And and I had him. There's some guy up in Canada, some guy that's lived off grid all of his life, and he's like 80 something years old. And they were trying to figure out how to get up there to interview him. There's these little the problem is that these guys are the life they lived and what they lived through it's never going to be again. And once their stories are gone, they're gone. And Bruce Kennedy's the one who got me started, because I seen what he was doing. And when I got those Warriors of El Gato tapes, I mean, I loved it. I loved listening to those guys, Terrell Shelley and Sewell Goodwin and Ollie Barney. And I mean, it was amazing. It was amazing.
Yep.
But we'll see.
And I'm telling you, you listen to those guys and you want to go get your dog and just strike out right there and go.
I know.
And my daughter.
Your daughter said, I don't even want to work no more. All I want to do is hunt.
She said, if I had the choice to do that and be law enforcement, she goes, I would drop law enforcement and just go do that if I could be that good. So, Vancouver has the highest density of cougars in the world.
And the biggest cougars in the world, from what I've heard.
There's some big ones. That's where the true 200-pounders come from.
Yep.
When they say we got a 200-pound cat and they're holding it, that is not 180, not a 154, 200 pounds. So, yep. Well,
Bueno pues, what do you think?
I think we're good. Keep your eye open. I'm going to build the website for next year. I'm going to plan it around the third weekend of August. Hopefully that's kind of where it's going to fall. If it's not, it's not. I kind of like it during the hunting season. So just plan on coming out and hunting for a week. I'm going to see if she can, once we get all the details out, I want to start doing it right now. I'm going to build a website and say, this is where it is. This is what it is. Here's a little forum if you want to set up a booth.
Oh, wow.
We didn't really get time to set up. Cold Strike passed out some hounds. I think it's Cold Strike gear. Let me give that guy a plug. He gave us some hats.
Oh, yeah. He's a good guy.
Colorado left us some hats. My light's right my way. Colorado Hound Association. He's a good guy to talk to too. Also, even though Jeremiah, he's a snow hunter too. So you guys gotta. Let me see. Let me check this real Cold Strike. I think it's coldstrikegear.com. It is coldstrikegear.com. Go check out his website. He sells hats and stuff. Mm-hmm. Trying to get into the big time. And he is now living in Arizona. And I told him, and if I'll announce it here, that he's probably going to be one of the members of the Arizona Working Dog Alliance. And I said that in front of everybody. And he looked at me and said, what? I said, sorry. We got witnesses now.
Arizona
he was part
Working
of that
Dog Alliance. What is that?
That's the one I started.
Oh, okay.
That I want to start. I already registered the name.
With all those things like that, do you think they could be affiliated with the National Association?
Oh yeah, because that's why I said alliance. Alliance. I don't, guys. I don't know what I'm doing. Utah said they'll help me out. Colorado said they'll help me out. Wisconsin said they'll help me out. Nevada has said they help me out. Even California said they'll brainwash me and help me out. So I want to do it right, but I don't want to do it like an association. I want to do it just kind of like a working, like an enforcer type of group.
Enforcer.
You have a problem over there, we'll go try to help them with that, like Colorado.
Oh, yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Well,
that's why the national. I think that's why the National Association is so important. Is that money could be pooled to fight the fight wherever it's at.
Well, yeah, and if I'm in Arizona and I'm charging $50 a year, which to me is ridiculously cheap, because $50 a year is nothing. If you want to keep hound hunting, you should be paying $50 a month to your association. Honestly, you pay that much to Netflix and Hulu and sit around and get fat.
No, I don't.
So you just sit around and edit all your videos. But you know what I mean?
I make my wife watch my videos. Okay, we're going to watch this one tonight.
My kids are like, they're boring. It's what we do all the time. I said, yeah, but it's not. This video's not for you. It's for people who don't get to do that. So
yeah, every state should have their own and be a part of the national group, and then each state pay dues. Each member of the state pay dues to their state, and then the state pays dues to the national.
That's what I'm saying. So I think $100 a year ain't even too much. Then you take $50 of that, and that goes to the national. So just whatever. Let's just say 25% of your member dues is going to go to the national. So if you got a lot of organizations and you're collecting on their dues, you can afford to kind of. But these guys better be on their toes. Not no bullshit. Not no, oh, we're going to do that, or, well, we don't have them. I'm not sending you a bunch of money not to do it. You know? So that guy, look at that guy, like repping Cold Strike. Oh, he has a good, I think he was talking about it too. I don't know. Go check those guys out. He was a real nice guy. We always plug everybody. We're like, Full Cry, absolutely plug them. W
Hunting Supply, our main sponsor.
Yep. Full Cry. They threw out some help. They've donated some.
Jason,
everybody's donated some money.
Danny Doobie, right?
Danny and
Jason's one of those guys that's in that national deal, that steering committee or whatever you call it.
Kept it a big secret from us too.
Chris should be on that steering committee. I don't want to be. I'm not in the in crowd.
I'll steer him right off the cliff, probably. That's why they'll never ask me. I'm the guy that says, don't let Chris talk. Hey, Chris Powell, don't let Chris talk. Chris will say, yeah, he's long-winded. Please don't let him talk.
All right.
Brett, you look tired.
I am. It was a long day. It was a long day.
Yeah, I know. I'm here, too. I unpacked everything. I didn't even do it. I just unpacked it. I hadn't even gone through it yet. So
cool. Guys, thanks for stopping in. Next Monday night, we'll have something happening, and then of course Chris you're going to have your deal on Wednesday night, right? Do you got anything? You got anything planned?
Unless I'm chasing bear and don't make it back.
Do you got a guest planned?
No.
Or do you have a topic, or do you have anything we can?
No, I haven't thought about it yet. But I'm thinking about it. I think we do really good when we don't have a plan. I feel like we just
what do they call it? Freestyle.
We just freestyle. Improv.
Yep. And then and I try to stop by for a little while on Wednesday night and see what they're talking about. Make sure they're not talking bad about
me. Yeah. Tuesday night, you guys could go listen to Raw Dog, see if they talk about us.
Raw Dog. They have one on Tuesday night. Don't they have one on Sunday night too, don't they? A live show?
I haven't. Shorty Gorham one? I don't know.
I think Shorty has one on Sunday night, I think.
Mm-hmm.
And then they have another, the Raw Dog, whatever, on Tuesday. And then I think Seth does something on their Patreon. They have a Patreon. I think they have a pretty big following on their Patreon, and he does something.
Mountain or Meat Eater just did a good one last Monday. I don't know about this. I think it was last Monday's. I told everybody to watch it for a reason, because they were talking. I think you're talking about the Colorado thing. They just had a lot of good points in there. A lot of good points. It was actually a really good
Meat
podcast.
Eater.
Yeah.
Was Steve Rennell on it?
Yeah, but it's the guys that were talking. I think CRWM guys and the Howl guys was on there. They made some really good points.
Good.
So, but I didn't see Steve Rennell at our Hound Rendezvous or Clay Newcomb. Too busy fishing and doing all that boring crap. Listen, Clay, we'll let you come around even though you say Akron.
I was on his podcast one time for like a minute and a half.
Nah, he's too good for you now. He's too big. You're just a nobody.
He used to comment on my videos, and then Meat Eater hired him, and he's not allowed to watch my videos anymore, I don't think.
They said, listen, here's the contract. Look at that you see that? Do not associate with Brent Vaughn ever again. But we got Brent Reeves on, didn't we?
We did. We conned him into it. I think he was surprised when he seen who we were, and he thought, oh, man, that's a mistake.
Private investigator. I'll find his number and his address.
Okay, guys. We'll see you. See you next time.
Adios.
Bunch of brainwashed, whatever I say.